We Gucci?
That was we Gooch.
No, we Gucci.
You're throwing curveballs here.
I am. See, before we started, I asked him we Gooch, and he said we Gucci, and I said, no, you have to say we Gooch. And now I threw the curveball, I said we Gucci.
We're Gucci.
That's me testing your observation skills.
For what?
For life.
Yeah,
It's important to hone those skills.
It is. It really is.
Because you never know when you might be faced with a list of people and you have to choose which one might have committed a crime.
Still like a detective.
Little bit.
Okay,
you know?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, now see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Ships Worldwide. We are a podcast where we talk about ourselves, the news, and then we do a talk about something we exchanged the previous week, which we will talk about.
And then border battle.
And then questions.
What is border battle?
Oh yeah, border battle is also where we play a round of super fight with Eastern and Western based decks. That's kind of our gimmick. And then we see who wins based on viewer vote. So that's kind of what's happening if you're new here. Hi. Especially to the
Welcome.
Hot Wheels fandom who are joining us today. Because, boy, I made a couple tweets that made a lot of people be like someone commented and they're like, oh man, I watched this when I was 8. And I'm like, yeah, I'm watching it for my podcast right now. And it's something. And then all these people are like, yo, what podcast?
Yeah.
Yo, what podcast? And so I will be linking that to them. Hi, Hot Wheels fandom. I wasn't a part of you, but maybe now I am.
You're
We'll
welcome.
We'll talk.
You're welcome to the fandom, and you're welcome to you.
Yes. But let's get into our weeks. What happened? What's poppin'?
What's happening?
Yeah. Well, no, it's what happened. What's happening right now is we're recording a podcast.
Okay. What has happened?
Yes.
I've been continuing my runs. I've been
Very nice.
physically getting better at them.
And now that the weather's nice,
Yes.
it's doable.
I have to whenever it was pretty windy for a while.
Yeah,
there.
for a while there it was really windy.
And I was like, there's like that tiny voice in my head. I'm like, it's too windy, don't run. But I'm like,
And then you shove that aside, and then the shonen anime part of your brain, which is slowly becoming real, it's like, no, you have to do it.
yes, that's
Fight
exactly
the power.
what it is.
Get through. That's the way you'll get a stand and become Hokage.
Whenever I run, I imagine Polnareff running beside me, and it motivates me even further.
His hair bobbing in the wind.
Other than that, I read yesterday, so we talked about this last time, the ELA, the shuttle thing.
Yes.
Did
Our
you hear,
shuttle, our amazing little smart car thing.
Did you hear that it broke down last week?
No, but
Because someone tried to forcibly get into it, and it had to be taken off the road for a bit.
that sounds about right for
Yep.
the people who live here.
I read an article on it, and they say, like, nothing's changing, it's just going to be off the road for a bit. And then I went to the comments. Nobody likes it.
I've not
Nobody.
seen one positive comment.
Me neither.
I've seen people who are indifferent to it.
Yeah.
And I've seen people who hate it, but nobody's like, I like this thing. Probably because it is still functionally useless. Just walk the 5-minute walk.
It was 200K.
It's just for the clout. It's just for
It's-
the fact that
yeah.
we can be like, yo, we have an automated transport system. It's like, yeah,
That
like,
bottles traffic.
elevators are more necessary than this thing, right? Like, it's like, I don't see the point.
It's speechless. It makes you speechless, really.
Also, it's hot pink. Why would you
Yeah,
make it that
it's
color?
so ugly.
It's so garish.
Other than that, just been working.
Getting that cash. I'm doing throwing the money.
It's a stressful job,
Yeah.
especially with like loud guys in the back,
Oh, yeah.
and they're just screaming at each other. They just break. They're brown, right?
Yeah.
And they're all of them are, and it's like no problem with that. But like their culture is so like I was told this. They like living. They think of themselves as the people who live life to the fullest.
Okay.
So they break out in song and really loudly, and I'm just like chilling there, and then they're just like start singing and all that, and it's just like, oh my god. They scream at each other, like when I'm like sitting beside one, or not sitting, but like making pizza, and there's one beside me, and they just start screaming, and it makes me jump. And it's like it's mentally exhausting, but at the same time, when I'm done the shift, I have the money, I have a lot of money, and it's like, it was worth it. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I think that's it.
Okay.
My life's not very eventful compared to yours, so.
Well, I mean, mine's not super much for this period. I mean, aside from, I can talk about this. My mom went to Hong Kong, and so we got to hear a lot of stories about that. Apparently, I might be going there in a couple of years. There's talks. It won't be for a while, but it would be something that would be interesting to try out. And even if it's just for a short amount of time. And with our interconnected world, it's like, yeah, I'm on the other side of the world, but we could radio this in, you know, like if it have to, if it continues that long, or if it ends up happening there. So that's neat. That's pretty cool.
Who knows? This Hot Wheels boost might rocket us into stardom.
For sure. Other than that, no, just been continuing with getting my finishing up the school year.
How much longer do you have to go?
Well, I'm there till June 28th.
Okay.
So pretty much a month left, which is terrifying when I consider how much I still need to teach. But no, otherwise it's been going. No, thankfully it's been not very, it's been stressful, but not in the I'm running out of time sort of way of I need to do stuff at home. So it's given me quite a bit of time to
I've noticed
play some stuff and have some more me time, which
you're
is nice.
definitely more content with it. Because like when you first started, you were really like vocal about it, but now you're like, yeah, you don't talk about it as much anymore.
Well, no, because it's I mean, what's there to say?
I'm
not going to go into. I mean, I could say, like, I was marking my students' papers, and one of them wrote "nani" in it, and then in letters at the top, that means what in Japan? And I'm like, aw. Other than that, no, there's not much to say. It's my job, and when the summer comes, I'm going to be excited to not be doing it for 2 months. But otherwise, it's still good. Cool. Okay, but let's get into the stuff that we actually engaged with this week.
Video games,
as well as
anime.
A few...
TV.
I actually have a proper Western movie in mind. We'll talk about it. Yeah.
Is that the last one there?
Nope.
Okay, it's the second last one.
The second last one.
Okay. For me, I've been getting through Persona 4 Golden.
Yep.
I've progressed a lot since last time, because last time I was at Risei's dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a lot to talk about. I want to save that for the spoiler section.
Yeah,
just in case.
Because you are quite far through it.
Yes.
To the point where I would say you are 100% into spoiler territory.
I am. But like, non-spoiler stuff. I heard a
I hear something vibrating somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. It's not me. My phone's in here.
Anyways, what was I saying?
Non-spoiler stuff.
Absolutely love the game. Phenomenal game.
Right?
Writing is amazing. Characters amazing. Music amazing. Like I can see why Beat thinks this is his favorite game of all time.
Yep. Yep.
But
that's fine. It's fine to hear a but.
When I look at Persona 5,
yeah,
I'm like, I love this
much
more.
For some people, it's the first one that they put all their effort into will always be their first favorite.
Yeah.
3, 4, and 5, and even for some 2, are in that realm of this is my favorite, right? So, and they're all valid, right? Absolutely.
Yeah. But I will begin much more detail at the end of the podcast with it. Other than that, I'm at the third last episode of the Persona 5 animation. The last 2 episodes are like an hour.
Yeah, well, they're OVAs. They were released separately. Do you know what an OVA is?
Yeah, I recently learned it's like a separate thing.
It's
that goes directly to DVD or something.
It's like a TV special, but instead of being a TV special, it's regarded as a separate video, and so it'll usually be sold on its own with its own special features. It'll usually have its own opening and ending. It's like a separate thing. They're different, but they're still part of the same thing. Originally, OVA stood for original video animation, so it would be like, if it's an adaptation of something, then the OVA would be an original side story, right?
Okay.
But as time went on, it kind of just turned into TV special, but it's usually sold separately, or streamed separately, or whatever, because I think they did air on TV, but they just were labeled as a special.
Okay, so those last 2 are in the Persona 5, those are like the end of the story, right?
The true end, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the actual show ends at where the bad end would be. Did you get the bad end in Persona 5?
There's a bad end? I thought there was only one end.
So, well, it's more like if you do the wrong choices in a certain section near the end, then...
It's been like 2 years, so...
Okay, I'm just gonna say...
just...
involving...
Skip.
Well, no, I'm gonna be vague. But involving a character and... Okay, you know the big explanation dump of this is how we figured it all out and this is how we got out of it? Right before that, there's a series of choices where if you choose it wrong, then you actually die and get the bad ending.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where it ends, and it makes it look like, oh no, he's dead, but then it's not a bad ending, it's an early ending.
Oh, okay.
Persona 4 also has those. Where it's like, if you do, for example, when you get to the part of, this isn't even a spoiler, but when you get to the part of, okay, who's the bad guy?
Yeah.
And if you pick the wrong characters 3 times, then they're like, it's you, and then it's like, no. Okay, well, game's over. Yeah, that's it's like, it's an early end. It's not a bad, like, it is a bad end in that it has a few extra stuff, but it's pretty much an early end instead.
So those 2 last OVAs are
what happens after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you put in the news about the Valentine's Day OVA?
No, because I haven't even heard, like, when you started talking about that, I'm like, this is the first I've heard of this.
Yeah. So Persona 5, the animation's doing like an OVA with all the girls, like the Valentine's Day type
this is looking to be a more traditional OVA of it's just neat side content. Mm-hmm. So Haru's naked in her preview art of it for some reason, which is a bit strange. All the rest of them are looking normal, and then there's Haru just like shoulders out, ready to go, and you're just like, yo, girl, what are you doing?
There was one with Goro too I read up on. Like a whole thing with him.
Oh, so maybe there's another one. Since I'm, kind of in a place where I can't freely browse the news all day anymore. There's a lot of stuff that I'm just not picking up on for the news, and some of it's that.
But that's all I've been doing really.
Okay.
Persona 4 has just been taking up all my time.
It's a time sink.
I'd gladly give it to it, but like.
Oh yeah. So Persona 3 next? Or are you gonna
in about 2 years?
Fair enough. I think that's.
I was talking to Beat about it, and he's like, "Yeah, you should give it a bit of time between Persona games."
Yeah,
because between 5 and 4 was like a year and a half.
Yeah,
and that was a good amount of time.
Yeah, and I mean we're going to be going back to Royale in a bit, so
yeah, so
we'll see how that goes. Okay, for me, I played a couple things. Some things I'm continuing to play. Some things I fully finished. So I started VALL-HALL-A.
What is the craze about this game?
So, okay, it's not groundbreaking, but it does what it does incredibly well. So what it is it's a game of, you're a bartender, someone comes in and asks for a drink.
Okay.
Mix it. Here's your ingredients. Here's your instructions. Mix it for them.
Okay.
Hand it off to them, and like a good bartender, they'll talk to you. Or you'll talk to them, right? You'll just be like, hey, how's it going? And then you talk to them and you get to know them. You get to learn about the world. You get to learn about kind of how it's different from our world, but how it's because it's like cyberpunky, right? But it's like cyberpunky in kind of a grittier sense. Like it's very gritty. An interesting world is built. And it's just pretty much mixing drinks and handing it off and listening to people talk. And it is just... You get the chillest soundtrack ever. Like, you can change the channel on the TV in the background and there might be a few things. Or, and then when you're done, you get your tips. If you serve them what they ask for, you get more tips. Mm-hmm. You get stuff to decorate your room. You can, you get apps on your phone that you can browse and read. Like, every morning, before you go to work, you open up your smartphone and you get to read the news. What's happening in the world right now? And it really is... The world building is so interesting. It's going about like some of it's a little nonsensical, where it's like there's this whole thing about the corgi incident, where they're like, the day before you got to work, it's like, why does this place smell so much like dog poo? And they're like, well, what happens when you get 40 corgis in your bar? And they're like, why did you have 40 corgis? They're like, they were corgis in suits and they like to be addressed as people. And like, it's kind of funny like that, right?
It sounds like I'd like this game.
It's so chill. And also you can put on a CRT filter.
Oh man.
And it is like the best CRT filter ever. It's just the right amount that you can just barely see it.
And it's on Switch too?
It's on Switch, yeah. Okay. So it was on PC for a long time. With slow updates, but then this is like the final version. The final version it actually includes the Kickstarter demo remade in like the new engine, which is kind of cool, which is about the corgi incident. It includes a bonus chapter at the end. What are these noises in my house?
Yeah, there's
a beeping over there. That's water. That's water being used. So
and then there's your fan.
That's my fan over there. My house is,
And there's like vibrations.
Yeah, I don't know what those vibrations are. This is weird.
I haven't got anything on my phone. Oh, just now I did.
Oh, you did? Is it important?
Someone added me as a friend on Facebook.
Wow, who is it? Do I know
idea.
them? What's their name?
Oh, it's
Don't say it out loud.
It's a spam bot.
I haven't got one of those in ages. So it's just a super chill game. I usually end up playing about half hour to an hour before I go to bed because it's just the type of game where you sign in, you do your job, you hear about the world, and it's just interactive enough that it remains interesting. Now, there is a bit of choice here. For instance, there's some drinks where it says optional alcohol value. So you can, if you want, give them alcohol-free, or you can fill it to the max with alcohol and get them plastered. And depending on what you do, it will change the story. Like, if someone gets so plastered and they're a cop and they're firing their guns everywhere, how does that affect the game?
Okay.
Versus if someone's, asks for something to wake them up, and because sometimes they'll give you vague ones. They'll just like, I just want something to wake me up, or I just want something sweet, right? So then what you do is you look through your guide and you're like, okay, what are all the drinks? Well, you want something to wake you up? How about we wake you up with this drink with so much alcohol content it should kill a person? Give that to them, and then they're out, right? So then how does that change the world? So it's just a really good. It is technically like a visual novel, but it is just so interesting and chill. Okay. And I'm really enjoying it.
I might check it out.
The only thing that brought me out of the immersion and made me go, ooh, was there's a few crossover things from other kind of similar-ish indie games. You can get a statue of the character from Y2K.
Oof.
And I'm like, and when I saw that, I'm like, oh, I don't like that. But it's entirely optional, and I can fully avoid it forever. But no, it's just super chill. And cool. It's definitely, I can see why people love it.
You know what other game is chill?
Well, I'll get to that. But one thing I'm just going to, I was going to transition with that, but then I remembered something. The one thing I will say is there's a few people who criticize the writing for being unrealistic, but I like that. It's like the way that the people talk is not like no one would open up to the bartender this much actually, right? But it does make it more interesting. It's also way more M-rated than I expected.
Is it M?
Oh yes. It's a hard M. There's a lot of talk about fluids.
Oh, okay.
And they use terms that you're like, wow, that can be printed in a video game.
Wow.
Like it's none of it's shown,
but
it's said, and it's funny, and it's got a few real laughs out of me, which makes me happy. But no, really good. Highly recommended if anyone wants just a chill game to, curl up by the fireplace with. And those tunes
on a hot summer day,
so good. What's that?
Roll up beside a
I'll
fireplace.
Put on the fireplace. Well, if it's
on a
raining,
hot summer day.
What if it's raining? Raining out. Put on the fireplace.
It's not like it's going to be -20
No,
out.
but you put on the fireplace for warmth and ambiance, not like heat.
Why would you put a fireplace on during when it's not snowing?
To chill. Grab a coffee.
To faint from what? Heat exhaustion?
No. Like literally, it's not gonna.
Okay, no, let's not get into this.
Okay. Anyways,
I've been told we go off track a lot, so
a little bit. Another game I've been playing, though this time on video stuff, that is extremely chill is Shenmue. I worked back up to where I was when I was playing the original standard definition version.
It's the first one, right?
I'm playing Shenmue 1 right now.
The one I played.
Yep. And so I played up to I played 9 parts worth, let's say, of the original one on the Dreamcast, and then I replayed up to there. But it was really cool because when I was replaying it, I'm like, I'm doing this entirely differently than how I solved the mystery on the first time. Because there's so many different ways you can arrive to the same major places. Like, talking to different characters will lead you down different paths that will bring you to the same spot. Like, there's like 3 ways to learn that you have to go, to this one bar, right? And it's so interesting when you really sit down and play with that game. It's so realistic because it'll be like, I need to find a way to get to China, which is also ironic because my mom was in Hong Kong and the whole point of where I was playing is I need to get to Hong Kong right now. But like, you're playing it and you're like, how do I get to China? What do? Well, you learned previously who the Chinese people are in the town. Go talk to them. And some of them were like, oh, that was so long ago, I don't remember. Some of them were like, oh, you could do this. And then finally it's like you talk to one and they're like, oh, yeah, of course. Here's like the more specific thing to do. Or if you want, you can figure it out on your own. Go, there's a place called the Asia Travel Company. Why don't I go there? So you can...
Kind of reminiscent of Persona.
It is a little bit, but it's so...
More 4 than 5.
It's so interesting where it's like, you arrive to the major game beats. Like, you know what I mean by beat, right?
Yeah, like story moments.
Story beat there.
Yeah.
You arrive to them, but you can do it in so many different ways. And they're all valid, right? It definitely helps that now that I'm going through... When I first played it, I didn't know that you can look at objects with the L button and then interact with them. Like, I thought you just pressed X or press, with the A button in front of them, right? That's not the case. You have to look at them. And now that I learned that, you can, like... Every single drawer in the main character's house can be opened up. And there's stuff in there. And there's either items you can use or items you can't. There's stuff like, you go to the shrine for the dad who dies right at the beginning. And it's like, you can put a candle there. If you get a candle item. You can light the candle. You can pray to your dad. And he'll usually like give you a hint of when he's praying about ideas, right? It's just such an interesting game. And I don't understand how some people think the game's bad.
When I was playing it, I was like, I want more of this.
There's people who look at Shenmue and they're like, this game's garbage. And why? Because a lot of them just thought how I thought when I first played it, which is, okay, it says I need to be there at 3 o'clock tomorrow. I guess I'm waiting here till 3 o'clock tomorrow. It's like, no, during that time, go talk to people. They'll give you more hints. You're usually solving 3 things at once. Like, who's this character? What's this item? Where's my next destination? So other characters can give you stuff. You talk to them and they'll give you hints about, their families and other stuff. And it's so interesting and I'm loving it. And I'm on what I've looked. I'm on what is now disc 3 of Shenmue 1, which is the final disc.
Were you almost done already?
Almost done Shenmue 1.
Wow.
I know, right? So I've been playing quite a bit. Like, I'll play usually 2 hours a day.
Oh, okay.
About there. It's really broad, where it's like you're given just like 5 areas, really. But they're so densely packed, and there's always stuff to find. It's really cool.
I want to play them too.
Yep. I
really enjoyed it when I did it for the foreign exchange.
And Shenmue 3 is not far off. So I'm looking forward
right?
to, I think August there, yeah.
That's not very far
I know, right?
off. That's a big game,
and I got, I bought up to, on the Kickstarter, up to the International Calling Card level. Which is basically, if you bought up to that level, you will get an International Calling Card in the game that will let you call the characters from the previous games.
Huh.
So it's like, you'll get to talk to them and throughout your journey. Which
Can
is
you just like get that off of the internet, though?
What do you mean?
Won't people just put those numbers on the internet?
Well, no. You need the calling card as an item in the game to call.
But if you get the number...
No, because he doesn't have an international calling card.
Okay.
No, the calling card is actually a card that lets you make those calls.
Like, physically...
No, in the game.
Oh, in the game. I thought you meant in real life.
No, in the game, there's phones
that
you can use, and he can't call normally, because he doesn't have a calling card. But then a calling card lets you call international calls.
I thought it was like...
No, it's like a little
get
bonus
phone numbers.
items.
They're like this
Well,
number.
one thing that's interesting that I learned about the HD version is they shaved off one number off of every phone number in the game. Because originally, all the phone numbers had the same digits as real phone numbers, and people actually tried to call them.
Oh, no.
That's a mistake. So they shaved off one number so they'll never go through. So that's a funny thing there. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. And cool. I need to finish up Shenmue 1, which is not too far off, and then play Shenmue 2. I also played and beat Spark the Electric Jester 2.
You're skipping a big one there, Tanner.
Oh yeah, I'll get to that. So this is the game that is the 3D sequel to one of my favorite games of all time. I'm sad to say it is not as good in my eyes as the original. No. It's good and has really good gameplay, but it's short.
How short?
3 hours. It's pretty short, right?
How long was the first one?
8.
Okay.
So a lot of people complained about the length of the first one. Because you basically... So basically, it's not really... Because in the first one, you basically played through the game the first time for 4 hours as the first character. And then you'd play through a second time as a second character for the sequel story, pretty much. Built-in sequel story, right? And so you go through it again, but the character is so... It's like... I'm talking like Shovel Knight to Plague Knight levels of difference, right?
Okay.
Like... Totally different gameplay style. So because of that, it felt so fresh, right? Like, for instance, the first character has an invincible dash. You dash, you're invincible during it. And enemies are attacking, you can just dash. You can mash the dash button and be totally safe, right? Which means that when you're fighting these crazy bosses, you can just keep dashing and be safe. The second character only has a parry. Meaning that you need to press the button as soon as the enemy attacks you. Meaning... that those bosses that you just dash through their attacks in the first playthrough, now you know what their attacks are like, and you were safely able to do them and dash through them. Now you gotta parry them. So you play this game as the guy who parries. Which, okay, again, for gameplay-wise, it's super cool. Imagine, if you will, a Sonic game, because that's what it is. It's trying to be like a 3D Sonic.
I've seen gameplay.
Where you can jump, and if there's, say, a laser or an enemy or something, you press a parry button. And not only does that nullify any damage, but you get meter for a super move. So, like, if there's this one level where there's, like, all these laser gates are going through, and it's like, oh, if you don't time it right, guess what? Who cares? Parry. There's a part where this gigantic, like, giga laser fires from the background, and you're supposed to jump up to the sides to avoid it. I missed one time. So you know what I did? I parried that laser 13 times.
Oh my God.
It was like choo choo choo, choo and I'm like, ah! The bosses are basically Metal Gear Rising.
Oh yeah,
because it's like the perspective is Metal Gear Rising. You have to parry them. The music is instrumental until they get 50% health, and then the lyrics kick in. The ending is one of the craziest, like, I can't believe this is going that direction things ever. But the sad thing is, it's short. And I did want it to be longer. So, because of that, like, I like my games to be meaty enough that I feel satisfied coming out. So, like, I like my game to be, when I'm finishing it, it's the point where I'm like, yes, this is the perfect spot to end it. Like, I'm just over that amount of... I'm just starting to get to the point of, I'm about done with this, right? When you get to that point and you finish it and you're like, yes... That's what I like, right? Like that 8 hours of the first game, I was like, that's perfect, you know? But then this one, it ends and I'm like, oh, that's it? Now, there could be room for more, because he's updating it. He actually made the game easier, because people are having trouble with it. Okay. Those people are cowards. I beat it on the 1.0 and it was fine. But it was really good. And definitely though, I do like the first one more, and I would recommend that one. Yeah, okay.
Is the second one cheaper?
I think they're about the same price.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it is 3D, and I would say the levels are more speed runnable, if that makes sense. Like, they are made for... So one cool thing is, everything has collision. Meaning that if you see an object in the far background, you can, like, dash over to it wall run off of it and like jump off. Like it's made for like it's like this level that took me like 5 minutes to beat. The platinum speedrun medal is like 30 seconds. How do you beat this level in 30 seconds? Well, the answer is you da 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 and like craziness, right? Yeah. So it is one that's like I would replay the levels more because they are more bite sized and like the perfect like run through style. But I think as a overall game with a story, I did like the first one more. Okay, and finally, the big one. The one so big I'm wearing a shirt with the character's face on it.
He opened the door with a smile on his face. I'm like, okay, what's up? And then I looked at his shirt and I'm like, oh my god, Tanner.
Saber's face plastered on my stomach. This shirt is horrible. It
looks so uncomfortable.
I'm wearing a shirt under it.
Oh, okay.
It's like the tiniest silk ever. I got it. This is from like China. It's like $10, and like they had all these designs, and they're all stolen fan art. This one is like official art, at least, but it's like it puts Saber right across my stomach, and it looks awful. But I beat the second route of Fate today.
Okay.
Today, this morning. I'm at 94 hours.
Okay.
This is in my top 3 games of all time now.
It's a visual novel.
It is outstanding. It is so good. Okay, the way I put it to beat, because I explained it to him, okay, you know the amount of time you get with the Persona characters and how you get attached to them, and like by the end you're like, I don't want to leave.
Yeah.
Okay, cut the amount of characters in half.
Okay.
So there's not many in Fate. Okay, so now you have the half of them. And now double the amount of time with them. And now remove the gameplay and just turn it all into just times with the characters.
Yeah.
You feel so attached to them by the end. And I don't think I've discussed this yet. I've always wanted to bring it up on the podcast. I've never discussed this. This game does what I want every game to do. Okay?
What's that?
So the way the routes work is the coolest thing ever. So you start up the game, you just hit new game, and you're given like a 5-day period at the start of, because it's broken up into days, right? The first 5 days are the same no matter what. But depending on what you do, certain relationships with characters change.
Okay.
If you do something that, and Saber's not actually like in the game by this point, but if you do stuff that would lead you to being more compatible with Saber, you'll be put onto her route.
Okay.
If you talk to Rin, she's the girl with the black hair and the pigtails,
sure,
then you will move more towards her route. If you ignore them for the pile of crap that is Sakura, I haven't got to her story yet, so I don't know if she gets better. Then you will get her route. But mind you, when you're playing in your first attempt, you kind of have to go... With your first playthrough, actually, there's no choices. You're just put on the Saber path. Mm-hmm. And then the second time, you hit new game, and then suddenly these choices appear. You can do what he did last time. Or, you could do something different. So, like, what if instead of, I'm going to go to the archery club today, what if he's like, I'm just going to stay out here, and then he runs into Rin. And it's literally what it comes down to is... one event changes between the Saber route and the Rin route that the whole game diverts. It splits and it goes so different directions.
Okay.
So like just from that 1.1 split, like you're back at the beginning. Characters don't know each other, but things go so differently. And you're like, wow, that one event had such a butterfly effect that everything is changed. And it goes into like, oh, because this thing happened, then this character went off and did this, which then caused this to happen, which caused this to happen. And like you have a game that is so broken that you're like, wow, you can't even imagine these two events happening like beside each other because they're so going on in different directions. I'm going to get to the third route because that's something that's...
Why would you stop playing?
Why would I stop, right? Like it was... Because they all end. Like, their ends are ends.
Okay.
Like, they are story ends. They are story conclusions. After I finished the Saber route, I'm like, I could be done here and be content. But people are like, no. There is so much more. And you do that split. And at first, they're quite similar. At first, you're like, this is pretty much the same events, but they're just like a few lines of difference. But then all it takes is like one of the first early events to go completely wrong, or like a character to appear way early, and you're like, oh, that's going to cause everything to change. The other thing that it does that I absolutely love is every game over has characters come out and yell at you for why you got a game over. So literally you'll get a game over and the characters will be like, hey, I see you're back in the game over corner. So let's talk about how you suck. And like they'll bring it up and
I'm trying to picture this game in my head. Is it like just images that talk? Or are they like models?
No, so they are images, but they have it's Phoenix Wright.
Oh, okay.
Like you have like the characters, okay. they have like 20 or 30 different emotions. They'll actually move around the screen a lot and simulate motion, which sounds bad, but they do some really creative stuff with like to show a character falling down, they'll like zoom in and blur the background to make it look like motion, right? It's really creative with that. But then there's a lot of choices in the game, right? So they'll give you 3 choices, and depending on which one you choose, that'll change how it goes, right? Pick bad choices, you die, usually. If you die, and there's some gruesome deaths, again, you get these characters coming out and just talking to you about why you chose the wrong thing. And it actually gives you a warning saying, warning, it's called Tiger Dojo. Do you want to go into the Tiger Dojo? It will destroy the 4th wall and ruin perceptions of characters. Do you wish to proceed? And so, like, you hop in there, and, like, Rin is smoking a cigarette, and, like, Saber's in a little lion costume, and, like, all the characters are drawn either in an entirely different art style or drawn really poorly. And the entire gameplay changes where it's, like, the actual Fate, like, visual novel style is it's text, like, it's a text box that takes up the whole screen with opacity, so the stuff is happening behind it. Yeah. Where normally this goes into like a more traditional, where it's like a text box at the bottom with the name there. So like it changes how it looks, and there's all sorts of stuff where it's like sometimes if you just pick a really dumb decision that it's pretty much don't make that choice. Like sometimes they go into, hey, here's what you did wrong. You didn't get this character's relationship value up enough. Go back to this day and make sure you pay attention to them to get your relationship up, right? They'll just tell that to you, right? But other days where it'll be like, there's one where it's like, we're going to take the main character and turn him into a death robot. So they like animate him being like, we're going to give him chainsaws for arms. And then they give him chainsaws and like, we're going to give him tank treads for feet. And it's like, it's wild. And so I want every game to have a multiple route system involving like an early game decision that changes. I love that idea. Okay. Like one change at the beginning of the game could change everything. Like, what happens if you replayed Metal Gear Solid 3, but you knew about who Eva was really working for? Like, how would that change? And now she's out of the story, right? And remember, she was in disguise with Volgin, right? It's like, how would that change? How would that reroute everything? I love that idea. And then finally, characters screaming at you for being an idiot if you get a game over.
That also takes an extremely large amount of extra work.
It does. It doesn't work for all games. I could see it working for Metal Gear depending on the ways you die, for instance.
Too bad the series is dead.
Yeah, but I love it, and it's so good. It's top 3 games of all time, and I'm not even done it. I cannot wait to move on to the animated versions because I want to see, because apparently they make some changes, so it's gonna be interesting watching that. The other games like the RPG. There's an actual RPG of it. There's the fighting games.
There's no shortage of entertainment for you.
Oh, yeah, no. Now, the only problem is I am slowly but surely approaching the mobile game.
Oh, no.
Every day I engage with this medium, I am stepping closer to it. And people are saying, we will try and stop you. And I'm saying, I will try and stop myself.
When you refer to people, are you talking about like the fandom? Or are you talking about the people who reply on Twitter?
Well, it's actually my commenters, because because those videos are my
they make numbers.
most, like, they're hugely popular.
Yeah.
It's easily one of my most
Do
popular
they listen
series.
to the podcast?
Some of them do, yeah.
Okay,
I
cool.
tell them to, which is cool. If you hear from that, hey, awesome. But it's a journey, and I'm gonna take a break before I get to the third route, mostly because I need a bit of one, just to kind of let it settle in.
Mm-hmm.
But I said that after the first route, and then I took about a week off, and then I'm like, I need to go back because I'm dying. I need to know.
I need more Saber.
I did, right? Now here's the thing: Saber doesn't get much in the second route because it's not her route, but she's there.
Okay.
And so it's interesting, I will say. Because it's which girl do you want to romance, kind of. But it also changes the actual, like, plot. But I will say, I appreciated Rin. She's awesome. But Saber's still number one for me.
As evidenced by
As is evidenced by me wearing Saber, by me having 3 Saber statues. I also.
Are you thinking about getting another?
I do have a bigger Rin than the other ones.
Oh, okay.
And I do have a Sakura, even though I hate Sakura right now. But oh well. But I'll probably get another Saber. I will definitely get another Saber. There's no doubt in my mind. My Japan trip, I'm gonna buy a suitcase there, and it will be packed with Saber stuff, and I will bring it back.
I'm scared for Anime-thon this year.
Oh,
For
buddy.
myself.
Oh, buddy, yeah. This will be my first Anime-thon where I am into Fate, so that's gonna change a lot. Oh boy.
Were there JoJo? Oh, okay, sorry. We shouldn't get off topic too much.
No.
Rim of the World.
Yes, this is a Netflix movie that my dad just put on, and I was upstairs, and I had, like, videos being uploaded, so I had nothing to do. So I'm like, whatever, I'll watch it. It was strange.
Is it animated? Is it live action?
So it's a live action
Okay.
movie. The best way to put it is Stranger Things meets Alien.
Have you seen Stranger Things?
I've watched season 1.
Okay.
So it's about, like, these kids who go to summer camp, and then aliens, right?
Okay.
So, but here's the thing.
Let me look at that.
It's brand new. It just came out. It is the most... It exists in this new age of Netflix for its content, if you ask me. Like, it is a movie that if you were to ask me, I would say, yeah, this is kind of a movie for...
It definitely gives off Stranger Things vibes.
Yeah, it's absolutely. It looks like... How do I put this? It looks like it would be a movie for kids. Or at least teens.
Oops, white maps.
But it doesn't hold back on what kids actually talk like. So, for instance, like... Okay, imagine a Disney movie about, like a High School Musical, but the teens actually swore and talk about sexual content as teens do,
Yeah.
right? So it's strange because on Netflix, it doesn't have a rating. It's an original thing, right? Like, so he said, the creator on Twitter, I saw it, and I saw it before I saw the movie. He's like, I guess I would put it at PG-13 because it's not scary for violence, and it has a good message for kids, but at the same time, the kids talk like how kids talk. They swear. Mm-hmm. They talk about stuff that is extremely, sexual, right? But they talk realistically. So it was just an interesting thing of, like, this exists in this new age of, this would never be able to air on TV because of how the kids talk, but it's the most realistic way kids talk ever.
Okay.
Now, mind you, there are some cringy jokes and stuff in it. Like, it's like you hear stuff, like, there's a character who's just making references all the time. But at the same time...
Ready Player One.
Oh, well, no, it does it at least better than that. But at the same time, it does it in a way that you're like, I know people who are like this.
Okay.
Who will just quote stuff, and you're like, why?
Bottom line, it's relatable.
I would say so.
Okay.
It's not a great movie,
Yeah,
but it was
I've seen
enjoyable.
the reviews and they said,
It's
like,
enjoyable.
Don't waste your time and all that kind of stuff.
Honestly, it was fine. It was enjoyable. It's something to put on in the background if you got something else to do. I wouldn't sit down and intently watch it, but it was interesting. Just interesting in the way it was done. And even the way the movie is filmed changes before and after the aliens attack.
Okay.
Like, before, it's filmed like a Disney movie. Like, that's the best way to put it. And then after, it's like the camera literally puts on a filter and it gets the widescreen bars.
Interesting.
Like, it's interesting, but it's nothing outstanding.
Okay.
Finally, I went to go see one of my favorite childhood movies back in theaters, being Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. This is Hayao Miyazaki's first movie, that like big project movie, and it's 30 years old. It's an old anime movie, and seeing it in theaters was incredible. It is a quiet movie. It is a contemplative movie, which I mean, mind you, the theater I was at was near empty.
Yeah, how many people were there?
In total, there was about 15 by the end.
Okay.
At the beginning, it looked like it was just me and one other person who kept talking to themselves, and I'm like, oh boy. But no, it was really good, and it was just seeing one of my favorite movies in theaters again. It's like, man, and it was a movie from my childhood, but more so, it was from my sister's childhood. And when I say her childhood, I mean, like, she watched it when she was, like, 2 and 3, right? So she's like, I don't remember. Like, she remembered scenes, but, like, not the story. And so she cried, because she's like, I remember watching this so much. It was so good. It's such a good film. And actually, we watched they had probably the reason why it was so not full is because they had the option of watching it in English or Japanese. I chose the dub in English because that's what I watched as a kid, right?
Okay.
That is I forgot how star-studded that cast is. It has Patrick Stewart. It has Shia LaBeouf.
Really?
It has Uma Thurman. It has Cheech from Cheech and Chong. It has it is a crazy. Mark Hamill is there as like a role for 2 minutes, and you're like, wow. They put the money in for this one, and it's really good. Cool. It's one of my favorite films. So it was just cool to see it in theaters.
Cool.
Again. Well, no, for the first time, because it's 30 years old. Okay.
So before we go on the news, I wanted to mention the Persona 5 animation.
Yeah.
I got to the second OP and ED.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing songs.
I think I've seen them, yeah.
Dark Sun and Autonomy.
Yeah, those are good.
Love those songs.
I think they put those into the dancing games, too, which is really nice.
And then the second thing, once I'm done Persona 4 Golden, I think I'm going to get into more smaller things like DLC. I'm going to start the dancing games, too.
Yeah. I mean, those don't have too much. Like, there's something you can just pick up and play.
I haven't heard a single Persona 4 dancing song yet.
Oh, they're good.
Yeah,
there's some good ones there, but there's also, in my eyes, some that I'm like, that's a remix. It's not a better one, but it's a remix.
Yeah.
I think the remixes in 3 and 5 are much better, but the ones
really,
yeah, I think so.
I hear that's like the opposite. I hear the opposite.
There's a few that I don't super love from 4, but I generally like the ones in 3 and 5, but there's some in 4 that I'm like, I love, and then there's some that I'm like, I don't like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see.
Okay.
News time.
That is the wrong thing I'm scrolling on. I'm going over here. Okay.
All right.
Let's go.
Me first, you first.
You first, as usual.
PlayStation opened their movie studio.
Yeah, it'll be good. Like Sly Cooper and Ratchet and Clank and Heavenly Sword. I'm sure those will all be great.
The Twisted Metal TV show is also in the works.
That's the first I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know how that'll work.
Well, each episode or each few episode could be a different driver and their story.
I guess.
Something like that.
But what's the point if they're not in cars shooting each other?
Well, that's going to be it.
Oh, I guess. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
But it's exciting. What movie do you want from the studio? Like, unironically.
You're asking me what video game adaptation I want unironically?
From Sony.
From Sony? I could see a movie based on God of War 1, the original, being interesting. Because there's some stuff there with the gods and like that I could see working out.
I could.
Other than that, I'm just thinking of PlayStation All-Stars roster, and it's like, I don't...
An Uncharted movie I'd like to see.
Yeah, that's a good fit.
Yeah.
That's a good fit. I almost feel like that's too good of a fit, though. That's almost a what's the point sort of thing.
Because a lot of their games are already cinematic.
Yeah, they're already so cinematic. They have movie filters, and you can like it's their.
They just gotta like figure out like what's a unique way to present this.
Yeah,
that would fit more in a watch it instead of play it type experience.
I mean, there were TV adaptations of a couple of previous ones, like Parappa and Ape Escape both had their own.
Okay.
So it's like those, but those were in Japan, of course. So we'll have to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Their video game movies are gonna be big with Detective Pikachu making the cash and Sonic getting. Well, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
In the East, there was the Mario Maker 2 Direct.
Yes.
Anything
looks phenomenal.
Anything there that you think is your most favorite thing? We're not going to talk about the whole thing because there's just a lot there. But
they just crammed a ton.
Yep. What's your favorite thing?
Oh man, it's been a while since I thought about it.
Okay.
The multiplayer stuff.
The multiplayer stuff is crazy. Story mode is such a good way of actually getting you to play the single player levels because I didn't really like the randomized ones of the first one. So getting to play through them all is awesome.
I'm just looking forward to seeing like what people are going to make out of this.
Yeah,
because there's so much more.
I think one of the big things is the on-off switch.
Oh yeah.
I think that and the level clear things that you can change the goal of the level.
Yeah, that's a big
thing
too.
Those are huge. Those totally change how the game is going to go, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the multiplayer, I could see myself getting so addicted to that, right? Like depending on how it goes.
That'd be such like a fun just pop out and play.
Yep.
This game makes New Super Mario Bros. U obsolete. Like the deluxe.
There's some stuff that is only in,
but like not enough for you to buy that instead of this.
Because it's not based on U Deluxe. It's based on Wii.
Oh,
the levels, the New Super Mario Bros. Wii.
Oh, okay.
Like there's no acorn suit. There's no squirrel suit.
That's fair.
Some of the Yoshi stuff is more basic. Like they only brought in Fire Yoshi. There's none of the other crazy Yoshis.
But like if I were to say, if someone were to ask me, what should I buy Mario Maker 2
of course.
in this? Yeah, definitely Mario Maker 2.
No, there's a few different things that are in U that at least justify its thing. But definitely, it's like, if you were to ask me, I'd definitely get Mario Maker 2 over the U there.
What do you think of the 3D world? Like we still have some more of that.
I think it's cool, and I'm excited to see.
How do you feel about it being like a separate thing?
I think it's the only way it would work.
Yeah.
That's the only way it would work. It's such a different theme, which makes me think, we know there's going to be one more theme.
Yeah.
If not on launch, it might be added in later,
DLC.
right? Maybe DLC or probably a free update.
Oh, yeah.
So it's probably like people are saying Mario 2. That makes sense because Mario 2 is entirely different.
Paper Mario?
I do not think it'll be Paper Mario.
That'd be so cool.
I could see Mario Land 2 or Mario Land 1.
That'd be kind of boring, though.
A little bit, but I could see there being Mario Land 2 has some wacky stuff though. That one has weird things in it, so I could see
Odyssey
that being
maybe could capture the enemies.
I don't think it'd be Odyssey. I think Odyssey is too similar to 3D World, aside from the capture mechanic. Plus, the only 2D parts of Odyssey are ones where you're 2D Mario, anyways.
What about 3D World?
Well, yeah, 3D World had 2D levels.
Oh, it didn't?
Yeah, it did.
When?
It totally did. 3D World had 2D levels. A few sub areas, yeah.
Well, sub areas, but not like full levels.
Yeah, not full levels, but there's portions of it that were 2D.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't think it'll be Odyssey. I think my best bets are either like the Mario 2 or Mario Land stuff. So we'll have to see.
Mario, I could see it be Mario 2.
Yeah, because Mario 2 is the one missing, right? Mm-hmm. So or Mario USA if you're in Japan.
What else? What do you how do you feel about the it's not related to the Mario Maker 2 thing, but like the vouchers?
Cool.
Are you going to use them?
No.
No?
So
I'm going to wait till E3.
Yeah, I want to wait till we're closer to more games. Like if I'm like I want to buy 2 Nintendo games, I buy that because it's $20 off, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to buy one now to be like I can't wait to spend these on Nintendo games later. It's like no, and especially because you can lose money on it because some of the games on there are not full price. Mm-hmm. So like you can lose money by buying it if you buy 2 lower price games.
I'm only going to buy like full price
so what I'm thinking is
first party games.
I'm probably going to use it to buy Mario Maker and then Fire Emblem.
For me it's going to be Mario Maker and Animal Crossing. Because those vouchers last a year.
They last a year, but I feel like that's too far off. I'll wait till... I don't think Animal Crossing's going to be way later. We're getting close to Mario Maker and Fire Emblem. So
I think Animal Crossing's going to be this year.
Well, yeah. They said it's this year.
But like,
then again, they could push it back. They could always.
Oh, we'll see.
We'll see. Nope, that's about it then for the Mario Maker 2 Direct. I could see us playing some levels and stuff together maybe. Especially because you can do local multiplayer with it.
Yeah.
But you do need to have each your own Switch.
Oh, like to build?
No, to play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can build on one screen.
Okay.
But you can't play on one screen because everyone has to be able to see where they are, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could see ourselves doing some of that. Okay, back to you.
PS5 load times were shown off at what was it?
Proving that it's real. I don't know where.
It was like a Japanese conference thing.
I don't know. Just saw it and it was like, yep, that's what it is.
What I saw was they took a camera and zoomed it through Spider-Man's world.
Oh yeah,
really quickly, and they did it on the PS4, and it like stopped for it to load in, and then it kept going, and then they did it with the PS5 tech, and it just clean.
Yep,
all the way through.
Well, that's how solid state works. Is it basically preloads everything and then keeps it in its memory there.
And that's gonna be a big turn.
Oh yeah, it'll be good.
It's not gonna be like the PS2 to PS3 jump.
Well, but it's at this point we can't make graphics look better. Almost we are getting diminishing returns where every game it's like there's some PS3 games that you look at and you're like that could be a PS4 game. Like they look like we're getting closer and closer to just being like the norm. But now it's like we're looking at ways to improve that, right? To make it so that it's not it loads faster and it's not 100 gigabytes. Why do they make the game so... Mario Maker 2 is like a solid 3.
Yeah.
It's 3 gigabytes.
That game's massive.
You can download every single Super Nintendo game and it's like slightly less, right? Like it's crazy.
Yeah. So hopefully that changes next generation too.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Did you see the Panic Playdate handheld?
I did. I wasn't sure if I would put it in West or East.
So I put it in East because I didn't know if you knew about it, but it is a Eastern or Western console there. But so it's a new little handheld with a crank handle, and it will include a game by Keita Takahashi. Does that name mean anything to you?
Nope.
Let me just give you a little bit of music to help you go. Na 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 na.
Katamari?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? He's a creative fellow, so I could see him getting some stuff out of that. But we'll have to see. It looks like a little quirky kind of indie micro handheld. But they put a good fishing game on this. That's it. I'm buying it because I love fishing games.
Did you see any details? I didn't look too much into it.
No, I just saw it launch in 2020.
Okay.
They showed off one little game where you're a robot and like you rotate, you spin it, and then it's like either he kind of leans forward or leans backwards, and there's a butterfly in the way. You got to lean back while you're walking. So it's like a little interesting stuff like that, right? I'm not expecting this to be
to rival Nintendo
at all a rival to Nintendo, but I can see there being some interesting indie things on it.
Yeah,
and hopefully they will let you expand it. Get more games, and it's not just going to be a built-in thing.
Hopefully, it's not too expensive.
Yeah, right. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Speaking of the big players,
yes,
Microsoft and Sony are joining forces to to
make cloud gaming better.
Yes.
Now,
because
I don't
Stadia's
know if you caught this though. That's not the Sony that makes the PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's the Sony, the company that makes everything.
Okay.
TVs, medical equipment, like the big grand Sony, right?
Okay.
So
and when Sony didn't have much of a I can't speak today. They didn't have much of a influence.
Yeah. Well, so then the Sony Computer Entertainment, when they heard about this, they're like, wait, what? We're working with a direct competitor for cloud gaming, but hopefully, and I'm sure Nintendo is also in on this, but they didn't announce that yet. But this is, hopefully to combat the Stadia, hopefully to allow for, because if they're going to move Sony over to the Azure servers, which is what they're called, that run it, then hey, we can get more easy crossplay, right? So this is a good move. This is a good thing. And also, let's kill the Stadia. I do not want that thing to be birthed into this world.
Too bad.
Well, no. Well, it'll be birthed, but no one will care about it, so it'll die quickly.
You sure?
I can't see it working. It's not going to work here.
No.
And it's not going to work in 90% of the world. It's like, do you live in New York or Tokyo? Congrats, you got a console that might work. But other than that, good luck.
Fair enough. Oh, we'll have to see.
We'll have
and
to see.
we're getting more details in the summer, so.
Yep.
We'll update you guys on that.
Okay, back to the East. There's apparently going to be some big Dragon Quest news coming in the June 10th issue of Weekly Shonen Jump.
Okay, so do you watch Papa Gino's on YouTube?
I literally do not know who that is.
Okay, he's like one of the best news roundup video game news roundup guys.
Okay.
He was talking about this and he said it might be for Smash because it's around the time, but this published before the Direct, right?
Yeah.
But the Smash Invitational is before that, 2 days earlier.
Okay.
So what if they show off Erdrick on the
Or
8th?
or whoever. Yeah.
That's related to Shonen or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's in the June 10th. And then we just see more gameplay in the Direct or like more like
That's
a release
possible.
date.
That's possible. It is
So.
possible, for sure. The only thing is, I do wonder about if they would put it in so close, because Japanese magazines leak all the time.
Yeah, that's a counterpoint he brought
So
up
the
too.
counterpoint is like I don't know if Nintendo would feel safe putting that in there so close. Now, it could also just be they did announce a new Dragon Quest Monsters game, which is like Dragon Quest Pokemon pretty much.
Wasn't that I was told that was like announced like last year.
Yeah,
last
and
year?
we haven't heard any info about it, so it's like that could be that.
Or it could also be are you just going to segue into it?
No, what?
No, it's like something about 11. Like drama voice lines or whatever.
Yeah, there's voice drama stuff for 11. So but I don't know if that would be big news.
Yeah.
That's a neat DLC thing, but it's not big news. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, the fact that it's in Shonen Jump makes people think it might be related to the original Dragon Quest Shonen Jump manga. So some people said, hey, maybe it's a video game of that original story. Maybe. But I have no idea. And we will have to see.
Well, we will. Cool. Some other E3 news.
Yep.
George R. R. Martin.
No, say his name right.
George R. R. Martin.
No, say his name right.
What is I don't know.
The R's stand for Reorge.
George Reorge Martin.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. He's working with FromSoft for a game that might be revealed at E3.
So, okay, this is a rumor currently,
Okay.
but we do know that George Reorge Martin did say that he was consulted on a Japanese video game.
Yeah.
That's confirmed. The From Software part and the E3
Okay.
part, we don't know about.
Yeah.
But he did say he consulted on a Japanese video game that is a not one of his own IPs.
If we could get a solid medieval FromSoft game.
I mean,
That's like-
is that not what...
No, I mean like more like
Dark
classic
Souls?
fantasy.
Okay, so less eldritch horror, more fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I love Bloodborne and Dark Souls and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But like,
Did you get Sekiro?
I did. I still have to get around to it.
Okay.
But yeah,
I've heard Sekiro is very divisive.
I have to play it still.
So, yeah. Okay. All right.
Cool.
GameFreak is looking to prioritize gear projects. That's like their separate, not Pokemon division. The original titles moving forward.
So like Town.
So Town is the first one. And then what they said was, look, we could develop Pokemon all the time, but we feel like we're getting stagnant with it and that we're not learning to evolve as a company.
That's good.
And so
'Cause,
we're going to
like,
use what we learned by making original titles to improve Pokemon and back and forth, right? Then we learn what works in Pokemon to improve our original titles.
Because there are worries that Sword and Shield looks too, like, stale. It looks samey.
A little, yeah, no, for sure. So we'll have to
And
see.
them realizing that.
It's good. Well, Well, we say it's them realizing, but it could very easily be a talk from Nintendo on high, being like, make it a bit different.
Nintendo like that, though.
They could be.
Okay.
They could be.
I'm not Nintendo, so
Yep.
I can't
No,
speak.
none of us are, but my uncle works there, so and he said Mario will be in Halo 5.
Or Halo will be in Smash.
We'll see. We'll see.
Back to me?
Yep.
So, new Call of Duty title.
This is the stupidest story. That I didn't think they could top boy, but they did. They topped boy.
What boy?
Black Ops 4 being spelled B-O-I-I-I. I didn't think they could top it.
So,
but lordy, here we are.
The new Call of Duty title
The fourth Modern Warfare game.
is called Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Not to be confused with Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
But, like, you look at God
And
of
not
War.
to be confused
What
with...
about... Okay, what about God of War? Or Ratchet and
No,
Clank?
the first God of War is not called God of War 4. The first Modern Warfare is literally called Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. And that 4 is right in the middle. So you're going to see people... not to be confused with Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare Remastered,
Yeah.
which is on the same console. How do you bungle this so hard?
What are some other examples?
Just call it Call of Duty Moderner Warfare.
No!
That would be better.
Modern Warfare 4.
But then you have Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare 4, right? Like that's no, but just honestly call it Modern Warfare Revolution, Modern Warfare Advancing, Modern Warfare EXE latest CLR.
But we just get Modern Warfare.
It's so stupid. I hate it. I hate it so much. It's
What are your hopes? No, I'm just kidding.
my hope is that this franchise dies.
But yeah, that's what there's no gameplay or anything. It's just the
Great.
title.
Did you know I actually like don't care, and I'm so done.
It's just a big topic on my feed, so I wanted to bring it up.
You need to clean out your feed, dude.
Well, I don't follow like. It's just a point of contention, you know.
Okay.
So
Speaking of points of contention, Mario Kart Tour got its first look with some footage. There's some retro courses. There is a closed beta. It is a gacha game where you basically roll for kart parts, roll for characters. The game is played in asynchronous online, meaning that you basically make a character and send the ghost up to the cloud. And then the game will download people's ghosts, and then you race, like, their ghosts, but you can actually, like, hit them with items and stuff.
okay.
So it's
I didn't know
not
that.
real online racing, but you race people who are basically controlled as a computer playing as them, and they'll pick up your driving habits.
Okay.
The game is controlled with a vertical screen.
How do you feel about that?
That's a bit strange. The game auto-accelerates. You do turn on the course by slightly rotating your device or using the stick. Items are wild because...
Like 8 red blue shells.
yeah, you can get like tons of them. You can start a race with them already, if depending on your character. Different classes can hold multiple. There are character-specific items, a lot of which are back from Double Dash, like Bowser gets the Bowser shell. There's like the heart item that lets you have a shield that when you hit it, you get the item that they threw at you. Interesting stuff. The retro courses are... Almost every course is from Mario Kart 7. So like a lot of the retro courses are ones that were just in 7. But there's a lot of racers that weren't in 7, meaning you get to see... And this is kind of a cool thing. Like... low poly models of newer characters. Like there's like Dry Bowser is one of the rarest characters, but you get to see like a kind of a DS style model of Dry Bowser racing, and you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. People are like, oh, why is it gacha? And the answer is nobody bought Mario Run.
So that's
Nobody
your
bought
fault.
Mario Run. Everyone bought into Fire Emblem.
Nintendo's a business.
Nintendo's
They
a business. This is a game made for investors. It's,
Yeah.
and absolutely. And you know what? I'll play it a bit. I'll see how it goes.
I'm
I'm
not
not
gonna-
going to put money in,
Nope.
but I'll give it a try, and we'll see.
It's where the Nintendo didn't want people to like share this. Like, what were they thinking?
No, it's a closed beta because they're going to change details.
Yeah, but they asked people not to share
That's
videos and all that.
absolutely normal for closed betas.
Oh, really?
Most closed betas literally say, like, unless you ask permission, the only ones that really let you do that are usually fighting games. Fighting games, they let that happen. But no, a lot of closed, because an open beta is different. Anyone can download it, so who cares? But for closed betas, like, for instance, they might entirely change the fact that you roll for characters. Maybe they're going to change it to, oh, there's an achievement system to unlock characters. Because of that, they don't want people to be sharing stuff of stuff that will totally possibly change in the future.
Oh, okay.
So that's usually why. It makes sense why they would ask people to not. That happens quite often with closed betas there. It's looking... We'll have to see. We still have to know what the Zelda mobile game is. That's coming out. As well as the Pokemon one.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll have to see about those.
Cool. I'm Batman.
No, you're not. Robert Pattinson apparently is.
So, yeah, Robert Pattinson.
I could see this working.
Pattinson is the next Batman.
At first I was like, what? But then I'm like, you know what? No, I'll take it.
Yeah.
You know what? We've had too many dudes who are way too old. Give us a younger guy.
It's just Ben Affleck that's been old.
No, a lot of the
Christian
other ones.
Bale was pretty...
Christian Bale was getting up there. He wasn't a young guy.
He was fine.
I want to see a younger Batman. But more importantly, I want to see Batman Beyond Batman. Please tell me Robert Pattinson is Batman Beyond Batman, please.
No, it's just going to be the Batman in the DCEU.
No, please, I want Batman Beyond.
Nope.
Batman Beyond is like the only Batman I like. I don't
Really?
like Batman. I love
Really?
Batman Beyond.
You don't like Batman?
I really don't.
I'm
very impartial. Well, okay, I don't hate him like I do Superman. But I'm very... what
don't you like about him?
I don't know.
He's not anime enough?
Okay, no. No, I watched Batman Ninja. He is anime. Boy. Did I talk about Batman Ninja?
You
boy.
have, yeah.
No, I just feel like it depends on the adaptation of it. I like when Batman isn't the Nolan-verse stuff.
Really? I love the Nolan-verse Batman.
For me, it started the trend of superheroes have to be dark and real. Martha, you know. I think it started, and it's like, and I watched The Dark Knight Rises, and I'm like, okay.
I love that trilogy.
I watched The Dark Knight, and I was like, I don't see why people think this is the greatest thing ever. It's a good film, but it's not what I would want from superhero films, personally. So I don't know. I want this to be a younger Batman. I want this to be Batman Beyond. You know Batman Beyond, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, give me Terry McGinnis and put Ben Affleck in as the old grizzled like Batman who's like, I'm done being Batman, and he wheels away in his wheelchair, and then Terry McGinnis is like, hey, I'm Batman now. Flap flap. Here's my and I actually kill people because I don't care, right? So I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll have to see about that. But I think that's a pick that makes me go, all right, that's interesting.
And of course people are mad.
Well, yeah, but people were mad about every character. Yeah. Like, people were like, "Oh, you're putting in his face as the Joker."
Jared Leto?
No, God, no. He deserved the hate. Heath Ledger. They're like, people hated that, but then he did a good. I mean, I don't love that movie, but he does a great job.
Oh yeah.
Right. So it's like, yeah. So we'll have to see. I'll have to see how that goes.
Cool.
So, back to anime.
75
character files were data mined from BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. Now,
that's excessive.
When I say character files, it's just the announcer saying the name of the characters. So here's the thing. We don't know who's going to be DLC, and they usually accidentally leak it in some way. So how do we get around this? Put in every possible DLC character as a soundbite to make it so that when they get game files, you're like, you can't be a leak.
So they do that
if they're all in.
Didn't they do that with Smash?
So with the Smash announcer, he usually gets told like 30 extra characters that aren't in the game to make it so that he doesn't know who's actually in and out, right? Yeah. So, for instance, every character in Persona 4 Arena Ultimax is said. Every character in BlazBlue. Every character in Under Night In-Birth. Every character in Arcana Heart. Every character in... I'm missing a series. What else? Oh, Akatsuki Blitzcamp. Every character in Senran Kagura. Of note, Akatsuki Blitzcamp and Senran Kagura, they don't actually even have characters in the game yet. But it's like we're putting it in there just so that, you know, in case... Ruby, a ton of Ruby characters. It's like, hey, you'll never know who's going to be next because we put in info on everyone.
That's pretty cool.
There's some ones that you're like, oh, yeah, that's going to be good. But we'll have to see. We shall have to see. I'm going to wait for that game's complete version, though.
You don't have it yet?
No.
No?
Because it launched with 20 characters. It got 24 as DLC. And now it's looking to have potentially up to 75 more. I'm going to wait for that complete edition.
Sounds good. Back to me?
Yep.
John Wick Chapter 4 is confirmed for May 21st, 2021.
Did you see John Wick 3?
Haven't yet.
Heard good things.
I need to see it.
Then go see it.
I gotta find the time and the people. There's a large amount of people who have not seen these movies.
Yeah, well, because it's an original IP.
That's like, come on.
A lot of people, there's people I know who are like, well, I don't know what that is, so I'm not going to go see it. It's like, what? I heard people being like, I loved Aladdin. And it's like, why? Like, I went to see it because I loved Aladdin as a kid. And it's like...
On the topic of movies, can't wait to see Godzilla.
Oh, God, Godzilla looks so good.
To see it.
That trailer gives me goosebumps. It's so good.
Apparently, it's like focused on the monsters, and people complain it isn't human focused.
Okay, I get where some of those complaints are coming from, because Godzilla is not actually usually about the monsters. Mm-hmm. It's about either the symbolism. What does the monster represent for society? Is it pollution? Is it war, right? Or it is about character drama around these events. Okay. How does a family that's divorced to deal with a monster attack, right? Mm-hmm. So I could see why some people would complain about that, but at the same time, I want to see some big monster fights. I want to see Godzilla do the big Godzuki breath. I want to see him. I want to see her do the roar.
Do the roar.
Do the roar.
Do it.
Do it.
Cool.
I love you, Daddy.
Let's move on.
Okay.
No, you go.
Oh, I go, right.
Yeah.
Hi, that's me. We were talking about John Wick.
Where did your mind go?
Because you talk Godzilla. Godzilla's Japanese. Speaking of movies.
It's a Western movie.
The live-action Akira movie is moving forward with Leonardo DiCaprio. And wait, Taika Waititi is directing it. What? That's now suddenly interesting. Now, you know how Thor Ragnarok looked?
Yeah.
That's the look of Akira.
Oh.
So that's when I think about that. I'm like, okay, at least visually, he could pull this off. Now, the fact that it's set in America and is all Americanized, again, I'm like a little iffy on. But I feel like he could pull it off in a way that makes a bit of sense. But it's that's an interesting one. Also, I just realized they call him Taika Waititi in there, so I forgot to add the other I. Let me fix that real quick. Boop. Okay, there we go. And now it is a word. This went from this is gonna fail and be the worst thing ever to I'm cautiously optimistic now, because after Battle Angel Alita, I'm like, yo, we could get some good ones because I loved Alita. So we'll have to see. We will have to see.
All right. Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast. No, actually, we gotta go slow.
Yes.
Gotta go slow and make sure we don't kill our visual effects artists.
So Sonic in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie is being redesigned.
Now.
Therefore, the movie is being delayed.
Yes.
To February 14th, 2020.
So here's some interesting things. One, the picture showing this off had Sonic holding up a sign with gloves on.
Oh.
Those gloves were not in the movie.
Oh.
Two, Sonic fans are crazy.
Well.
They can detect details. The shading
oh my God.
on the glove made it so they recognized who's the one redesigning Sonic.
Really?
And it's the best future.
Who?
Tyson Hess, who is the guy who made the Sonic Mania opening.
Oh, wow.
And the Sonic Mania shorts. The guy who did that art right there.
That's a big
Tyson
deal.
Hess is a perfection pull. And then people were messaging him, and he just posted like a gif of, I think, Mace Windu from Star Wars going like, I don't know what's happening. And everyone's like, oh, you know. And he's like, I may know stuff about things, but I'm not allowed to say. So it's super confirmed, and that is a good pull. Now.
I've seen worries.
Now.
Are we going to talk about the same thing?
I don't know. What's your worries?
That people say that this movie is going to be just outright bad now that the design is good. And
what I was going to say is, at least if the design's good, we'll have that. But I still don't know about that script. Especially when in the original trailer, it called for the fact that at one point Sonic flosses. But that might change if they're going to redo the visual effects entirely, which they'll probably have to. I mean, it's because you can't use the same model. You can't just switch out. We'll see how that goes. Maybe they can also recut up the film to be better. It's possible, but we'll have to see.
This is a big deal.
That's a big deal, and actually, it was really interesting reading some of the reactions from Sega of Japan, who were like, "This is interesting. We don't do that. If we have a project and people don't like it, we release it and we move on." And so they're like, "This is kind of a new thing." There's actually a bit of stuff from Yuji Naka, who made Sonic pretty much, being like, you don't have to do this, but I think it's for the best. But at the same time, I don't think this will save the movie from being amazing. But I think it could be at least okay if Sonic looks right,
I just want to see what it looks like.
It was
when I looked at the picture.
So no, it wasn't by the Sonic. It was by the director. By the director of the movie.
Trivia.
Oh, I think his name is like Knowles, Knows.
K-N...
O-W-E-S? O-W-L-E-S.
O-W-L-E-S?
I think it's Knowles.
So Game Knowles? Harry Knowles?
I don't know. I'm sure go to the Sonic Stadium. That's the website that I know reported on it.
Sonic what?
Sonic Stadium. No, like on Twitter. Oh, we're doing this live, huh?
I want to see what this looks like.
Speaking of, just quickly, they did another Sonic Twitter takeover, where they had the voice actors doing stuff.
That was cool.
They were really fun. There's some fun stuff there, like Shadow says he just eats raw coffee beans. There's one question where they asked what their favorite anime was, which is hilarious. They actually talked about my friends, Adam and Sven. So yeah, that's the glove there. So the shading on it is so Tyson Hess's shading, right? Mind you, his arms are still blue, which is blasphemous, but oh well, at least it'll look better.
I don't like the gloves.
Well, Tyson Hess actually did a design of what, aside from, like, he didn't have the gloves on it, but he did a design of what he would redesign it as.
Yeah.
And it's really good. Tyson Hess, where is he here? Let's see. Yeah, this is... Oh, great. It's not a full picture.
Oh, no. Yeah, I know that picture.
Yeah. So he drew a version of it that I think, yeah, that looks pretty good. Give it gloves. Perfect.
Yeah.
Give it gloves, and that's really good. So if he does that, awesome.
Cool. All right. That's it for the West.
Yes, and finally, last one for the East. Your Name anime director's new movie will release in the U.S. in early 2020. You want to see it in theaters?
Might as well.
Yeah, might as well go there and cry.
That's it back.
What a good movie. What a good film. Makoto Shinkai. I actually haven't seen any of his other movies aside from this one.
Obviously.
So, well, yeah, but when this one comes to theaters, I really want to see it. Because, yeah, and I got that from GameSpot, and the subtitle was, "And you will probably cry." It's like, yep, you got me. You will. I will go to that theater and wimp the frick out at... Oh, it's going to be great. But yeah.
Cool.
That's about it.
That's it for the news.
That's it for the news.
News alert.
So, when we get back, we're going to be talking about our foreign exchange of Final Fantasy VII and Hot Wheels Acceleracers. Give our next foreign exchange, do the board battle, questions, and then spoiler time.
Yes.
So we'll see you all...
So, do you want to talk... I was thinking, since E3 stopped...
Okay.
That we don't have an episode 2 weeks from now, because it's E3 time.
Yep.
But we will be doing
reactions. E3's in 2 weeks?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. So that Sunday, E3 is going to be happening, so we will not be recording next week. We're going to be reminding people of that next, at the end of the podcast.
Yep.
So, but 2 weeks after that, we'll be coming back hard with our impressions.
Yep.
And probably lots of news. So...
Yeah, and we will be doing a pre-E3 separate podcast.
Yes.
So we'll do that.
Those rare...
bonus crates.
Bonus freight.
Bonus freight. Sorry.
Bonus.
Okay,
we're going to break.
Yes, we'll see you guys in just a second.
Why did you pause there?
Ciao. Well, hey, we're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back for our foreign exchange.
This is going to be an interesting one.
I think so. We have two,
For you, at least.
2 milestones of their own mediums. We have things that have shaped the way media has evolved over the course of the years. Final Fantasy VII and Hot Wheels Acceleracers. Now, we usually go in the order of who experienced it first. I will let you know right now. I spent 7 hours yesterday watching Hot Wheels and 1 hour this morning.
7?
Sorry. All right, they're only an hour each. Sorry. I spent 3 hours yesterday and then 1 hour this morning.
Okay.
Or 45 minutes, roughly.
So shorter than Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, but unlike Game of Thrones, thankfully, that didn't require my full attention. So we'll talk about it, though, after you give me your thoughts on the opening hours of Final Fantasy VII.
Okay. So, when I was playing this, I was kind of tired.
Yep.
I didn't have any other time to play it, so I had to play this tonight, whether I like it or not. So, didn't really, might have affected a little bit of my enjoyment, but not enough to where it's, drastically changed.
Yeah.
It was good. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like... I could definitely see how, revolutionary it would be back in the day. But now it's kind of like, okay, this is cool. I did not know the combat was, it happened... Oh, sorry. It happened, all the time.
So that's...
It wasn't turn-based.
So that's...
I had no idea.
That's whenever we use the phrase ATB, it's the active time battle system.
Okay.
So literally, the fight is always going. When you're in menus, you got to select your options quickly because enemies can still attack you.
Yeah.
When it's interesting when you then get enemies who then can speed up their bars or slow down your bar, and some attacks will cause you to need more time to recharge to attack again.
Okay. I didn't really like waiting for my attack to start.
You can actually crank it up in the options.
Okay.
It's called battle speed. You can crank it up so that pretty much it'll be just in 1 second and your meter will be full.
Okay.
So you can do that, but then here's the problem. When you're in those menus, your enemies will attack you with their full speed. So it's a balance, right?
Okay.
If you're good at the menuing, you can crank it up, but if not, you'll probably leave it alone.
Okay. Music's awesome. Love the music, of course.
Yeah.
Characters, cool. I like their little...
Good first set of characters you got to meet.
Yeah. Goose.
Who's Cloud? Because we need to tell the people who didn't watch your stream.
I was naming them all off of
Animal Crossing characters for some reason.
I don't know why. It was Goose. Barrett was...
Apollo.
Apollo. Tifa?
Tifa was...
This is the flower girl, right? That's her?
No. That's Aerith.
Tifa's the one in the white.
Tifa's the one with the big bahonker-donkeroos.
Named her... it was something funny. It was tomato.
Tomato, because you wanted...
ketchup.
You wanted ketchup, the name of the one duck, but you got tomato instead.
And then Aerith.
What did we name Aerith?
Oh, I don't remember. Oh, man.
You asked for a list... Oh, wasn't it Medley?
Yeah, it was Medley.
You did Medley, which is technically a Animal Crossing character.
Yeah. I really like the scene in the church.
Yeah.
With him and Cloud and Aerith talking. I'm not sure who's Tifa and who's Aerith.
Just remember, Tifa, her name is 2 letters away from what people care about her for.
Okay.
She's actually a good character, but there's a reason why people love her. 2 reasons.
Anyways, ask me some stuff.
Okay.
That's how I respond.
What did you think of Cloud's character?
Very stern and cold.
Okay. But did you see how he tried to be cool at times and no one cared? When he hops into the train and people are like, "Yo, Cloud!" And then he's flipping off his hair and he's like, "Yeah, that's what heroes do." And people are like, "Okay, whatever." They...
No, I didn't notice that.
That is
because I was a bit tired, but
that is something where it's he tries to be cool, but no one actually thinks he is.
Okay.
Which is a really good characterization for him.
Yeah. I like the areas.
Midgard there, yeah. It's
Not Midgard, but well, that town area where the bar is.
well, that's all in Midgar.
Okay.
Like Midgar is a huge town comprised of like a bunch of sub-towns.
And I was thinking at the same time of what the remake's going to be like.
Right.
How like detailed these areas are going to be.
And so do you see how it really changes when you look at like the town area there? Like it's one screen versus how many areas it's going to be to render in 3D, right?
And there's
like
so much going on too. There's characters moving around.
Yep.
And doing their own thing. And this is a PS1 game.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, early-ish PS1 too.
Yeah.
Like it was rather early there, showing off the system's power.
Barrett's just a cool guy.
Barrett's
funny.
so good. Everyone, you gotta love Barrett because he's
just knocks a guy away to sit down or something.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know.
Remember when he went ham on the boxing man? He was just like, he gets so mad. He's like,
he's angry.
So angry.
But on the train, when it was like counting down, I would talk to the guy.
Yeah,
he gave me a thing he didn't.
I
he had
never
no
knew
idea.
about that. He's like, "Wow, you're pretty brave for coming over here. Here's an item." And I'm like, "I didn't know about that."
Yeah, so I thought that was the way we had to go. So.
No, it wasn't. But you learned. Yeah. So the opening hours of that game are iconic, right? Like, and there's a lot of little things. Like the one point where you have to go to Tifa's bar for the first time. If you book it over there before Barrett, he'll comment on that. It'd be like, "Yo, what's the rush, dude? Like, I need to get in there first to get your money. Like, you want to see Tifa that badly? You know?" There's
cool.
also the whole relationship stuff when, depending on how you answer certain characters, they will, there's an invisible relationship counter because at a certain point in the game, it's not really spoilers, it's well known, you get to go on a date with someone.
Okay.
And the person that you like the most is the one you go on. Mm-hmm. And the choices are Tifa, Aerith, Yuffie, who you haven't met yet, and Barrett. And you can absolutely go on a date with Barrett
nice.
if you love him and hate every other girl. But there is some funny stuff where it's like, you totally missed it because I think you were clicking through a little quickly there. But when you meet Aerith in the church for this, like you meet her in the church there, she asks, "Do you remember me?" And the choices are, "Yeah, you're the flower girl," or "Yeah, you're the slum drunk."
I did.
And if you
remember that.
and to get her relationship up, you have to say you're the slum drunk because she's feisty, which is interesting because if you look at the character designs of Tifa and Aerith, the punchy girl is not the feisty one. She's the girly girl. Mm-hmm. Aerith is the feisty one.
It's interesting,
and it's an interesting thing. Which, they kind of forgot about as time went on, but that's fine.
I'm always fascinated with, like, PS1 games that do this, like, really crazy, like, detailed stuff like Metal Gear Solid does.
Yeah. The PS1 has some magical games on it where it's like you think about imagine playing this at the time.
Or, like, God, that Nightmare game. That legitimately scares me. Yeah. Like, just, like, I've always been fascinated by that kind of stuff.
There's a lot, and Final Fantasy VII is so packed with things that there's a section that gives me the willies like LSD does.
Really?
Yeah, it's freaky.
Huh.
How does going on to a sunken sub and finding Resident Evil style biomutants that are like the grossest PS1 models you've ever seen.
Huh.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything outside of Midgar.
Yeah, so
for the longest time I thought this
really
game just took place entirely in Midgar.
You're only there for probably about, in this game, 4 or 5 hours.
That's it. That's
and then
weird.
Like you got to about the third mark of being there, right? Like it's yeah, which people are saying that for the the 7 remake, it's gonna be broken up into episodes. They could extend Midgar to be the first episode entirely.
Okay.
Because I don't know if you noticed, but when they're going over the city, it's broken up into like the 8 kind of plate sections.
Yeah.
You only went to like 2.
Really?
Yeah. Like Midgar's huge, right? So because of that, people are saying, well, now you'll be able to maybe go to the other ones, right? So.
Okay. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to play it on Switch though.
Yeah, I
it
can
sucks
see
because
that.
like, I have it on PS4, and it's like, what's the point of playing on Switch?
That's happened so many times for me, though. I bought Shenmue 1 and 2 to play it, and then Shenmue 1 didn't work. Oh, now I gotta buy the HD one. Like Final Fantasy X, I bought 10 and 10 too, and then I'm like, oh, now they're making the PS3 version, I'll get that. Oh, I didn't get the PS4 version, but now I'm like, well, I might as well get the Switch version now, right? So, Final Fantasy IX, I bought it on PS3, and now it's like, well, I have it on PS3, but now it's on Switch, so...
It'd be because, like, Final Fantasy VII would be fun to play just, like, before bed.
And they fixed the music
audio
bug
yes.
on Switch and Xbox One, but not on PS4 yet, which is strange, but
we'll see.
That's a good deal. That's good, yeah.
Yeah, I'll eventually get around to it.
It's an adventure. Yeah. It's so good. It does what it does so well, which I like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Recommended.
Sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, telling people that hot take of I recommend Final Fantasy VII in 2019. Okay. Hot Wheels.
This is the big one.
Acceleracers. So, do you know that this is a sequel?
So, by the way, I haven't seen these movies in a very long time. So
this is a sequel.
I did know this, yeah.
So I started it up, and these characters are talking about things, and I'm like, what? What? How do they know each other? What's this? And then they're like, yeah, we went on the quest for the Wheel of Power. And I'm like, when did this happen? So I brought out my phone and I Googled it, and they're like, yeah, it's a sequel to the Wheel of Power, movie series. I'm like, oh, good. So I'm starting in the middle, I guess.
But these are the movies. I didn't watch those. Okay. I only watched these, so.
Okay. So, let me say, while I was watching it, there was a few character designs that when I looked at, I'm like, I've seen you before. And I was trying to place where. And there was a few audio clips and I'm like, I've heard that. And it's haunted me for years. The one audio clip that I've had in my head since when I was little was a Pork Chop. Do you remember Pork Chop?
I do, yeah.
He was Monkey Man. That one sound clip. I'm like, oh, where's that from? Where? Because I've heard it. Where's it from? And so what I think it is, I think this aired on YTV, which is one of our kids' channels, as a TV series, not as movies.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because every 22 minutes, there is a small fade to black, and then it fades back in. Which, that's pretty telling. It was probably cut up into be a TV show for some channels, but then they repackaged it as a movie, right? Mm-hmm. So I've seen commercials as a kid.
Okay.
But I don't know if I watched it. Because I'm looking at it, I'm like this...
The movies?
Yeah. There's elements that seemed so familiar, but it might just be through commercial exposure.
Okay.
But...
I really enjoy... I remember really enjoying the different worlds they go to. And the different gimmicks.
Okay, so we'll talk about that. Okay. So I started up, and it's like... The first thing I see is a dude in a car, and then this green and black car drives up to him. It transforms into a dope-looking mecha that I'm like, that's pretty cool. And it like rips him out. And then he's like thrown out to Highway 35. And I'm like, okay, none of that makes sense to me. And then we cut to the most 2000s character designs I've ever seen. And then they said the main character's name is Vert Wheeler. Of which I was like, oh, he has a little goatee. He has the blonde, slightly anime-esque hair from that time when it was like trying to be cool. And then, of course, you're looking at the characters and you got like the Latino guy who yells all the time. You got, so that's Nolo. He's the Latino.
Yeah.
You have the guy who is clearly like, yo, we looked at Jet Set Radio once. We got the guy with like the dope orange glasses and he's always playing his cool, funky music. And you're like, oh no. And then you got some other boring people I don't care about. You got these buff McLarge huge dudes. And you're just like, oh man. And then finally, the guy who I thought was going to be the villain, but he wasn't.
Yeah, when you mentioned that in here,
and his name was Tesla. And I'm like... Oh, is it Mr. Elon Musk that is the villain? He's not, but he's basically Elon Musk. So, and then you have like the rivals, and it's very clear that someone saw Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift and was like, you know who needs to see this? Kids. And you got these cars with like, oh man, I remember that era of like Need for Speed Underground, where you got like the crazy decals and like the neon underglow and like the glowing tires, and I'm like, oh, I remember this whole subculture being like, yeah, that's and they're like, they're street racing, and then of course they're like, we gotta go Dr. Tesla, and I'm like, how do they know this doctor? Then this robot appears like,
hello, I am a robot. Please come to get the wheel of power.
and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And then they go, and then what is just dropped randomly is they're like, why are we on Highway 35? And then Vert's like, yo, did you know that Highway 35 is actually an artificial construct made by aliens, and the real Highway 35 is a space highway? Yeah. Never brought up again. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then they get to this place, and then Dr. Tesla comes out with like his silver hair and his silver exoskeleton, and he's sounding like Albert Wesker, and he's like Teku Racers, we must get back the wheel of power. And I'm just like, you are a villain. You are such a villain. I was wrong. He's not. He's just Albert Wesker, Elon Musk.
Okay, there was a scene I remember. They were like it was like nighttime and they're on the highway.
Yeah, that was at the beginning there, and they're doing night racing on the highway.
Yeah, I remember that scene,
and
like,
they're
vividly.
And it's like, one thing I will say, it is surprisingly brutal with like, yo, my brother, he died in a car accident.
I remember
and
that
you're
too.
like, oh, okay, that's what happens when you street race. There's a lot of like, oh my god, this is a line in a kid's movie. It's like, you're not my brother, and you know my brother would never do this. And then he's like, yeah, because your brother died in prison. And I'm like, what? It's like, I've been in jail for 2 years, and your brother died in there. Now my name is Wild. I'm like, okay. So I haven't even got to the part where they start racing, really. So then they go to this place, in the secret place, laboratory, and they also meet up with this other guy who speaks with like an Egyptian accent, and he's like, they're all like, hey, what's up, dude, person we know? I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. And then he joins along. He dies in like the first episode, though.
There's like a Junkrat reminiscent character.
Just wait, I'm getting
Okay.
there. But then, so that's the good guys go, but also the bad guys. And the bad guys are like the brother who hates the guy, this like guy who looks like a Mortal Kombat PS2 era character reject. And then there is Monkey, who is just Junkrat. And then Porkchop later appears, who is just Roadhog and literally calls himself a Roadhog at one point. And I'm like, huh. So they're all there.
What about this guy?
He's so nothing.
I thought he was like...
He's the...
Oh, I remember him.
Yeah, no, that's the guy who... your brother died in prison.
Okay.
My name is now Wild.
Yeah.
And then that's the brother who's kind of basic. But apparently he was on the bad guy's side in the last movie. And he's like, I learned the truth to not go with robots.
Okay.
So then they get there, and they're like... And this is the... They're like, we need the Wheel of Power to open up portals to the race realms. The race worlds. And so they're like, well, we don't have the Wheel of Power, but we have a hologram of it that will let us go to the race worlds. To which I say, that's not how holograms work. A hologram is just a video recording. You can't make a hologram of a cereal box and open it up and get cereal.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, yeah, we have a hologram of it. We'll just go through it because it's a hologram. And I'm like, okay. Also, that guy there, his name is Nolo. Who would name their child Nolo?
You could say that's a new low.
That is a new low to name your child Nolo. So then they're like, Dr. Tesla's all like, I had a dream that the robots came and destroyed the world. And you see his dream, and it has like all these like robot cars, and like each one's using like a different like Chaos Emerald power, and they're like driving across the world and slicing it in half. And he's like, to prevent a robot apocalypse, we must collect the Acceleracers. And so the Acceleracers are just Chaos Emeralds. They're just the things that you need to get. But to get there's Pork Chop. But to get them, you need to win the races in the race worlds. Because you win that race, you get the Acceleracharger. But you also only have 60 minutes or you're trapped in the race world. And no one's ever got out. So
I remember that being the scariest thing when I was watching those movies.
Then it turns into basically every movie is 3 races with different things happening in the race, different strategies by the different characters and their relationships to each other. And then as they win races, they get the Accelerachargers, which are little like things that you plug into your car and they cheat. You get to cheat. Some of them are not very good, like my car can now drive on water. Okay. Some of them are, my car will just make a path of vines that you can drive anywhere. And you're like, that's a little good. And then one is like, my car presses R2 in Paper Mario and turns thin. And also can slice cars in half now by driving through them. That one's a little strong. Especially when you then put the nitro boost with it, you become a razor blade. So one thing I will say is I could not believe how toy-ish it was. So I watched the Bionicle movies as a kid, right? Did you?
I don't. It's not in my memory.
Okay. So I watched the Bionicle movies, and I remember as a kid being like, I kind of wish they were closer to the toys so that they looked like them, because they were like remodeled to look more like kind of realistic for their world. And you know, you looked at stuff and you're like, there's no toys here, right? Like it's a more, this one, it's like the track to warp to other places is literally that one Hot Wheels like spinning around, like it is a real toy, right? They find these like power-ups for their cars that they drive through, and it's like, yeah, we found I forget what it's called, but it's like an add-on for your car. And I'm looking at these, I'm like, I've literally seen these toys. And it's like they go in, it's like, yeah, now my car can boost power through, and it's like, oh, that is a toy.
And the cars they use in the movie are actual toys, so.
Oh yeah. And then the one that got me though is later on, the enemy faction, the drones. They get these things called sweepers, which are these big, long, like semi things, but they have a spinning blade on the front.
Yeah.
And I looked at that and I said, that's literally a recolor of a toy that you use to pick up your Hot Wheels and put them away. You run it over your Hot Wheels and they store them in the back, and then you can take them out and they're all organized. I'm like, oh my god, these are just all toys. Okay. It was better than I expected.
Okay.
But there was times where I was like, this is clearly a TV show put together, and I can tune out for certain parts.
Okay.
Like, every episode has 3 races.
Yeah.
The first race is usually regular. I'd watch it. The second race was usually filler. I'd start to tune out.
Oh.
The third race would usually be the one where things go wrong. A character will die. And I'm like, oh, I got big hang with me here Neon Genesis Evangelion vibes.
What?
And I can't go into it without spoiling that. And I am going to give you Evangelion one day to watch when it comes out on Netflix.
Okay.
All I'm going to say is Dr. Tesla is Gendo Ikari and let everything else fall into place.
Oh, are you done with your thoughts?
I'm still trying to think about them.
So I want to ask you, like,
Ask me questions. Go.
what do you think of the like actual track designs? Because I remember the one in the first movie being like a swamp area, and there's this swamp monster.
So
What do you think of like that how they did the tracks?
I thought the tracks were a little bit too.
Like, what were the other ones? I only remember the swamp one.
Okay, let me try and think about them. There was a cave one in the first one. There was a the swamp one, and then there was a. Oh, I don't even remember all of them.
Just the ones you remember.
There was a city at like a kind of like a futury city at night.
I remember that one.
There was a water one where they had to like kind of drift on the water on the surface or be underwater. There was one that was all tubes, Tube World. There was one that was oh shoot. No, in the first one there was the lightning world where everything was like there was the electric shocks.
Yeah.
There was
Wasn't there like a really long descent one?
Yes. Yeah. That was the lightning world actually.
Okay. Yeah.
Then there was like basically Rainbow Road for the finale there.
Yeah.
I got big F-Zero vibes.
Okay.
In that a lot of the tracks were like floating above things. Like it felt like the tracks in the sky. They weren't very grounded. I mean, haha, tracks in the sky. But that was one of my problems was a lot of it was just like it was a track in the sky and not necessarily in a grounded place. So I thought a few of them was like, that's a little lazier. The powers were interesting. I kind of wish they didn't show them all in the first episode. Because in the first episode, when there's the dream of the robots using the powers to take over the world, you see them all get used.
Oh, okay.
Kind of wanted at least a bit of mystery to what they all did. So it's like, oh, we got a new power. What is it? Click it in and see what it is. Not, here's all of them being used at once, and then, you kind of.
I remember there being like a pretty big twist in the last one. There was like a big twist.
Was it the ending? Because that ending was a twist ending.
We're going to spoilers, so if you care about
care about Hot Wheels Acceleracers spoilers, please go outside. Okay, so I'm just going to get into how it ends. So first off, by the third episode, you learn there's a new enemy faction, the Silencers. They're like these kind of like space-looking dudes, and they're like robots, and they can change their cars to be whoever you want, or like they can disguise themselves. And you're like, who are the Silencers? And then later on, you learn that the robot, who at the beginning was like,
please come to see Dr. Tesla,
was one of the Silencers.
Oh, they're the purple guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in the third final episode, Vert Wheeler goes home and his dad's like, son, I don't want you doing that street racing. That's too dangerous. I am in the military and also never see your mother because I'm in the military. And then he's like, whatever, Dad, I'll do whatever I want. And then that's what convinces him to go join back up with the Acceleracers, because for a main character, boy, he kept losing. Last episode, they get all the Accelerchargers, they fight off the drones, they kill the hot Mama Jama female robot leader lady, and then they find the Acceleron. He's the god of the Hot Wheels universe who has made all the tracks, and he offers Vert Wheeler a chance to race with the being who birthed the genre of racing. And then he says, no, I have to go see my, family and stuff. I have to save my friends. That's him. That's the god alien who created racing. And then here's the thing. So then he goes through the portal and they blow up the facility to get rid of the drones. But then they're like, oh no, now the Silencers have the Accelerchargers. And so he goes to the Silencer headquarters, and then he gets captured by them. And he's like, who are you guys? I need to get out of here. Why do you have the Accelerchargers? Are you like the drones? And then the one Silencer walks up. He takes off his helmet. I told you not to do that street racing, son. And that's where it ends. And I'm like,
oh yeah, I remember it being such a cliffhanger ending.
That's where it ends.
That's where it ends.
And I'm like,
oh no, it's all coming back now.
If that was the after credits, I'd give it one thing. but it ends there, and then it's like, Hot Wheels, drive to stay alive, acceleracers. And then I'm like, that I felt so, like, actually angry that it didn't actually end. And I don't even know if there's a real sequel. I don't even know.
I don't know either.
Apparently, Battle Force 5, the TV show, has Vert Wheeler, whose name I will always say in full, has him as the main character, but he's like 30 and looking like a military guy now. So like, I don't know. Is it a soft reboot? What is it? But boy,
I forgot it ended on such a cliffhanger.
Such a cliffhanger. Like, you don't even know. Did they all get out? Like, what happened? It's bonkers.
So what do you think? What did you think? Did you enjoy it?
I'd be lying if I said I enjoyed the whole thing.
Okay.
There was times where I was like, oh, this should have been trimmed down so much. This should have been trimmed down a lot.
Was it just like them messing around or something?
There was some times where it was just...
Because I remember the garage scenes really... Like, they're just fooling around.
It basically turned into, at times...
A sitcom
like,
or something?
like, we're the Teku. We listen to cool music because we're hip. And then the whole other rival team who's there with them is like, you stop that music there. And then they're like, what's wrong? Don't like music? And then they just bug each other for the rest of it. Meanwhile, there's a stupid plotline of Monkey being like, oh, I'm so in love with the mechanic girl. And then the mechanic girl's like, you're physically disgusting. And then it's like, it's always... He was a character that went between, I think he's funny, and he's actually the worst thing ever. Because half of his things were just like, he'll be doing little shenanigan-y stuff, but narrating it. He'd be like, I'm going to put this over here. Oh, no, don't do that.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, stop, shut up. Then there was Sparky the robot. Hello. He's like a robot. There was one joke that really got me. There was one joke that actually made me laugh really hard, and it's, hey, why aren't you filling up our cans of nitro? Why are you wasting your time with this? He's like, oh, don't worry. I set Sparky to do it. And they're like, you gave the robot...
A thing?
Yeah. You gave the robot named Sparky, who is constantly sparking, a job with nitro? And you see him, hello, psst, and he starts sparking up right in front of the stuff, and then they just both tackle him, and I'm like, that is really funny. That is really, really, really funny. Because it is such, it's like, that's the perfect joke. Like, I laughed so hard at that. The rest of it, not as much. A lot more of it is more just like kiddie. Yeah. I will say, no burps, no farts, none of that dumb kiddie stuff. It took itself very seriously, which was for the best and for the worst, because they will say stuff like there was a lot of like, I died when my car died. And I'm just like, what? Like, stuff like cars are the most serious thing.
So what parts did you thoroughly enjoy?
I legitimately enjoyed, by the end, when it came down to the actual confrontation with the robots, where it's like, okay, we're not in our cars. How do we get out of this? So, and then the stuff like of a guy being like, well, let me sneak into my car and drive them over, you know? So it's like a lot of action there was really good. There was some decent twists with... there was some decent character evolution of a character like forgiving the guy who he thought killed his brother. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, look, it wasn't my fault. You won't ever accept that. So let me just be the best person I can. And I'm like, that is really good. Like, there's some real character evolution. There was some characters who got nothing. I would say there's too many characters.
Okay.
I would definitely cut some out, because there was the brother of Wild was horrible. He had nothing going on.
The guy I showed you? With
yeah,
the fourth?
He has nothing. Nothing going on. The Asian guy with the jet set radio glasses, other than...
I remember him having a sick beat during the swamp.
So he played cool music, and there was times where it's like, oh man, there's drones on the back of my car. He just bumps up the bass and like vibrates them out of existence, right?
I remember during the swamp thing where the mosquito like punctured
the
thing and he broke it off.
Yeah, so there's a few cool things with him, but as a character, he got nothing. Like, he never evolved or changed as a character.
Just kind of
he was just kind of there for action or comedy. There was a few like actually like pretty dope moments with cars like being flung around and some basically car foo at times, you know. But for the most part, it was good, but I will never watch it again.
Okay.
Like it was something that I experienced.
I wanted you to experience it. 'cause-
And it is very clear that some executives saw Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift because that is such a clear inspiration. But it's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's one of the few things I remember from my childhood. So
I mean, even like I said, I was getting flashbacks to
Yeah.
like I know some of this stuff, but I don't know from where. And I think it is just commercials.
yeah. Okay.
So
And that's it.
that's it.
Cool. Next up,
Next up.
from Next Foreign Exchange.
Yep. So I have a thought for mine.
Thought.
Well, no, but it's. I have one. I have one thought up.
Okay. Okay.
But
But
are you comfortable with playing on the console that it's on?
what console?
GameCube.
It's a bit standard definition on my TV, and I'm not a big fan of it.
Okay. The only other option is there is a PS3 port.
Do you have it?
I don't. It's digital only.
Can I download it from your system?
You should be able to download it from my system.
Okay.
I think. I don't know because PS3 account sharing is different than
Yeah, PS4.
PS4. So we'll have to see. But I will give you at least the physical GameCube copy.
Okay.
If that doesn't work, then we'll find a way to download that one. Or you can also. It is in my Steam library, and you have my Steam account on your PC.
Mm-hmm.
You could give that a try.
Okay.
It's very easy to run. It's an older game. It's GameCube.
Okay.
Okay? So, now, I'm going to let you know, my case for it is special. Be careful with it.
Okay.
You remember you gave me the Grand Theft Auto when it was all signed?
Yeah.
Very similar.
Okay. Okay.
Okay?
So he's going over to his video game collection on the wall. He's looking for it.
It's GameCube.
I have no idea what it is. What's it? You don't have it?
No, I do. Is it put away because it's special?
Is it like in a metal case or something?
No, it's in a regular case, but it is one that's done up nicely.
Huh.
You
You need to prepare these things before, man.
I know. Well, it's because originally I was just going to give you the just the download for the PS3 version, but I thought, I don't know how that works. Where is it?
Did you put it like somewhere aside and you forgot about it?
I might have. Okay. Oh no, here it is. Okay, turn around.
Okay, turn around. What's it gonna be?
I will say it is a player's choice game.
Oh, so it's good at least.
Some people believe so.
Oh, okay. Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
My personal favorite Sonic game.
Okay. I've been hearing a lot of this lately.
This is the one that, in my eyes, is perfect.
Perfect.
I will play this forever. I have 900 hours in it.
How?
Well, one feature that you probably won't get much play out of, but it's seasonal,
Oh, the
guys.
Chow Garden.
So the Chow Garden is in it, which
Okay.
is huge for me because it is so addictive. Because what you do is basically, when you kill an enemy in a level, you get an item from them, which you then go give to the Chows, and it raises their stats. They can race and they can battle. It's Pokemon. It's a built-in Pokemon thing. It is addicting. There's like so much depth to it. It's its own game. But you don't have to deal with the Chow if you don't want to. I would say play around with them, see it. It is a deep system though.
Okay.
And it is something that you would if you want to know about, you have to actually like look it up online. But for the most part, the single player campaign, I recommend going through the hero side story first.
Okay.
Because you can choose either the hero side or the villain side. So it is here on the GameCube. There is a port of it on PS3, and there is a port of it on the PC. I have all three. Actually, I don't know if I have it on Steam. So, okay. Those two at least.
Sounds good.
That game is... I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Don't play it for the story, though.
Oh, no.
Don't play it for the story.
No.
Obviously, some people want to.
Okay. My turn?
Your turn.
So,
Okay, so does this have to do with the question you asked me about do you like poker?
No, none of that. I
Okay.
was thinking, I'm like, no, I'll scrap that.
Okay, because that was a confusing one, because I'm thinking, are you going to give me like poker stars for the Game Boy Advance or something?
No. Okay. So it's a game.
Okay, a game.
You can stream it.
Well, of course I can. I can stream anything.
That's fair. But you can stream Hot Wheels? I'm just kidding.
I could have, but I was also like doing work at that time, so you wouldn't have gotten a very fun me.
It's on the PS4.
Okay.
You have to download it.
Okay. Is it a game that
it's a physical game too, but I have it downloaded
Okay.
because it was on sale. It goes on sale all the time on PlayStation.
Okay, okay.
All the time. It's okay. So I got you to play Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
This game's similar.
Does it involve a row of saints?
No.
Okay. Similar.
I consider this game more fun from gameplay to gameplay moments than GTA 5.
Okay. Does it involve a grappling hook?
No.
Okay, so it's not just cuz?
No. It's
Okay.
No. What else? Do parkour in it.
Park. It's not Mirror's Edge, is it?
No.
Okay. Because I'm thinking that has nothing to do with...
It's
there vehicle driving?
Yes.
Vehicle driving, parkour, not Saints Row.
Why I want you to play this game is I want you to compare it with GTA 5 since you played it so recently
Okay.
and see which one was more fun for you.
Okay. Company.
Dead giveaway if I give you the company.
Watch Dogs?
Yes, it's Watch Dogs 2.
Watch Dogs 2. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
The second one.
Okay.
Because the first one was a massive disappointment.
Heard that.
But the second one reels it back a bit, focuses on the gameplay, focuses on what it can make different and more fun.
All right.
And I have it on PS4 downloaded. But
Sure. We'll see how that goes.
yeah, I think you'll enjoy it more.
Okay.
Because the gunplay, the movements, it is a Ubisoft game, so, but it's not gonna be Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
It's in a different engine, I believe. So
That'll be interesting.
Yes.
So next time it is going to be...
don't plan to get that video monetized because like the first mission is a song.
Yeah, I'm sure. Sonic Adventure 2 and Watch Dogs 2.
Yes.
So we're looking at sequels that... Well, actually some people like Sonic Adventure 1 better, and those people are wrong.
But objectively, Watch Dogs 2 is better than the
Yeah.
first.
Okay, interesting.
Cool.
Okay. Well, it is now time
For Border Battle.
Border Battle. So we have our cards pre-shuffled.
Yes.
We have our rules pre-done. So it is basically going to be one fighter and two modifiers. We will draw 5 cards for the fighters, 5 cards for the power-ups. We will scrap the rest of them, and then we will see who's the winner. Last time, did you see the results?
No, I didn't.
The winner was the West by
Yes.
1 mark. It was 5 for you, 4 for me. So that was what was it last time?
Oh, you should have put up.
I know
put
I
up.
should have put it up.
It was Unlimited Blade Works
Oh, Unlimited Blade Works Archer versus
Archer.
no, not Archer. It was Unlimited Blade Works.
I like No Bones.
Yeah, you would know. Who were you? Well, anyways,
It's probably explain.
So I don't put it into the description of the Border Battle poll because I don't want people to just vote on what they think. I want it to be us explaining it, which sucks because then now we're here and we forget.
I'm getting to it.
You're getting to it. Like I said, it's not in the poll itself.
It's on the YouTube video.
Are you gonna listen to our YouTube video?
No, I have it turned down.
Okay.
I'm bringing up the straw poll
Well, the straw poll just says East and West.
results.
Yeah, and I said the West won, but it doesn't say who.
Right.
It doesn't say who. Well, that's fine. We'll remember to write it down somewhere next time.
Who were you?
Because
You were a Street Fighter character.
I was Third Strike Dudley,
Yeah.
and you stole my power of Unlimited Blade Works. So all I could do was parry. So yeah, that's why you won. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so we're drawing our first 5 cards for our characters. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. I got some interesting ones. Huh.
I got... These aren't shuffled. These aren't shuffled very well.
I know. I got 2 of one theme and 3 of another theme.
I got 5.
Oh, jeez.
Same theme.
We need to get a card shuffler, but that's fine. I have one that is a potential double-edged sword. I'm going to use it. I'm going to take the big biscuit, risk it.
Okay, I'm going to take this one.
All right. And now we need to draw our 5 modifiers. Ooh, well, interesting.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I need one more.
Okay, so I don't want that one. Ooh. Don't want that one.
Okay, that's done.
Don't want that one. Okay, so down to 2
Okay,
here.
that one is funny but impractical. I'm just gonna say it says armed with a shotgun that shoots shotguns. As cool as funny that would be, it actually doesn't mean they shoot themselves. Okay.
I could take a gamble.
No, actually, I don't like that one.
For me, I could take a gamble, or I could be equipped.
Well, remember, you get 2. So if you have 2 left, you can use both.
Okay, then I got mine.
All right. Well, I have mine. So, shall you be the first to go first this time?
Sure. So my characters,
Okay.
it is the Woodbury raiding party from Walking Dead. So these are a bunch of hardened guys who are under the governor's rule, and you know what the governor is. He's a sadistic maniac
Okay.
who treats his disciples harshly. They all are armed with a chainsaw
Okay.
and can perfectly mimic the opponent's fighting style.
Okay. This is going to be buck wild. All right. Well, mine is... What's the name of yours again?
Like the group?
Yeah.
The Woodbury raiding party.
Well, mine are the evil Woodbury raiding party.
No, that'd be the good.
So, well, it's the evil version.
So even worse.
So even worse. But they shoot bees from their mouth. And, okay, I don't know, should I give this to you? Or should I take it for myself? Because either way, it would work for my...
And for me, because I can mimic your fighting style.
So, I'm going to give this one to you then. Your guys explode if you stop moving.
Okay.
Meaning, if you stop moving, you're done. So we have a kind of a minion battle going on here. So you have your party with the chainsaws.
Let's say like the raiding party.
Yeah.
Let's say it's like 25. 25.
25? Okay, so we have 25
each.
Each here. But mine shoot bees from their mouths.
But I can do the same.
Now, are we saying that shooting bees from their mouth is a fighting style? I would argue that's a curse, not a fighting style. If it was like jujitsu,
well, that's a way you're combating me, right?
Okay, so we got
this is buck wild.
25 raiding party of yours.
Where's this taking place?
New York,
okay.
As usual, empty New York City street. The only difference between our parties is that mine is more evil and yours explode if they stop moving.
And are armed with chainsaws.
And have chainsaws, but chainsaws don't do much against bees, I fear. So, I would assume that, okay, if we can shoot bees from our mouths, does that mean we are immune to bee stings ourselves?
Yeah, let's just get rid of that one.
Because then if that's out of there, now the only difference now between us is... You have chainsaws.
So I think this one the mimic fighting styles can be rid of.
Do you want to draw a new hand?
No.
No?
No, we have to be stuck with this.
Okay.
Because I feel like I'd win.
You feel like you'd win if you explode if you stop moving.
I mean, if I explode near your guys, I can take you out in bunches.
Okay.
And I have the chainsaws, so I could just like track you down.
But it also gets rid of your dudes if you explode.
Sure, but if I send one of my guys away from my group into yours.
How do you plan that if you can't stop moving?
What do you mean? Well, they're just moving around in like a
So
circle
you're just spinning in a circle. Okay.
and send one out.
Now, mine are more evil than yours.
Okay, what does that mean?
So I would say if they're more evil, they have more of a less of a group mentality and more individualistic, right?
Okay.
Because I would argue that your group is a more cohesive group, right? Where mine, since they're evil, they don't trust each other. So while your group will probably want to stay close together, they're a raiding party, mine will spread out to the other streets, right?
Okay. So if I keep moving,
Armed with a chainsaw,
I could just track you individually down.
you could.
But again, if you stop me, I explode.
Yes.
So how are you going to deal with that?
I throw rocks until you stop.
Well, Woodbury Raiding Party have guns.
We didn't say they had guns. Okay, so then so my characters have guns too. I shoot your knees. What happens when your knees stop?
Shit.
Your knees go down. Can you crawl? I get your hands. Uh-oh! You're stopped. Boop, 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 boop. And I'm still alive because I don't explode. Also, you explode, there goes that chainsaw. Oh, look! Equipped. I can equip your chainsaws once you explode.
Just did like a motion, like a cocking motion with his arm.
Well, yeah, because I'm getting it and then I'm equipping it.
Yeah.
Whenever I put my pants on in the morning, I make sure I go to equip them.
Okay.
And because
Say I run into, I spread them out myself into buildings.
Okay, but because mine are more evil, they have less of a worry about the humanity of the enemy. So it's not, I see a person and I hesitate for a second thinking, should I make this moral decision? It's, I don't care, you're moving, you're dead. The eviler you are, the quicker your reaction time, because you don't have humanity holding you back.
Okay, when you say moving, does that mean physically like
Walking.
If I'm like
walking.
If I'm like twitching.
Walking.
Walking? Okay.
Walking.
So if I get my guys into the buildings and they're walking around.
Okay.
In close quarters.
Okay.
So like you can't like just shoot from a distance, right?
Sure.
And there's 25 of them all spread out in these buildings.
But every single
How
time...
long does it take until my guys win over yours?
Okay.
You guys don't have special powers.
We don't. But we have the power of not exploding when we stop moving. And there are a surprising number of ways to impede movement. If we are in close quarters, it might be as simple as, I'm going to pull down this here cupboard. Uh-oh! Now you can't walk in front of it. Did you stop for a second?
But are you far away? Are you far away enough to not be affected by?
As you said, we are.
Because these are regular people.
They're regular people, but regular people in this zombie apocalypse. Sorry, Walker apocalypse of the Walking Dead universe, they can take some damage. They're hardened. Like, how many characters have survived things dumber than shrapnel?
Okay. I think we have to leave it to the voters.
So do you think that the more evil ones would survive, or the ones that explode upon stopping their motion?
In close quarters environments.
In close quarters with chainsaws, and also we're firing bees at each other constantly, but they cancel each other out because if you can fire bees, obviously you're immune to it. The pain! Okay. This evil version was such a gamble. Because I'm like, if he gets a Walking Dead character, I'm screwed. But thankfully, I was able to come up with a way to make that work. Okay.
My other ones were has tiny T-Rex arms.
Oh, yeah?
Carrying way too many grocery bags. Suffering from delusions of grandeur. And then the mimic.
My other ones were, I showed you the shotgun that shoots shotguns. Literal jazz hands. I don't know what that would mean. And then the one that I was considering is top half is a blank. Meaning I would draw another white card to see what my character's top half would be. Which, if I thought you got a good character, well, the top half is what matters.
Yeah.
Right? So what would it be? So if I got that one, I would have a bunch of them, which would be transfer students. That means nothing. So that would have been a wasted card. I'm happy I didn't pick that one.
Cool.
All right. Voting is in the description. If you're on YouTube, if you're on iTunes or whatever your service is for getting podcasts, it is in the description of the podcast as well. Please check that out. Please vote and make sure that you think very carefully about who you think the winner would be.
I like the ones that aren't like super battle, like Superman battles.
The ones that are more mundane and stupid.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because those are the ones you have to think about,
No,
right?
yeah, for sure.
Cool.
All right. And now we're getting into our questions. So, shall we get going?
Yes.
We have one for me from Mauricio. I saw that you were watching We Never Learn, We Can't Study. It's We Never Learn. It literally says it in English on there. But why did you spoil yourself and binge read the manga if you're going to watch it? Doesn't it bother you now that you know what happens in the anime? Okay, so I'll answer that question because there's another question after that. It doesn't bother me. And the reason why is I have learned very recently that reading manga and watching anime are incredibly different experiences. Through the medium alone, even if it's a shot-for-shot thing, they are very different. Some I like more for one medium than the other. For instance, I prefer We Never Learn as a manga than an anime. I think it gives the characters more time to breathe, more time to exist. They don't throw them into situations so quickly, right? So for me, it doesn't bother me because then I can watch it and compare and contrast and go, hey, I remember when I read that. Let's see what's changed. When I read all of JoJo, I read all of it, and now I'm watching it. I'm like, oh, that's a cool way of adapting it. Or, oh, that makes more sense when it's shown in motion, right? King Crimson in the manga is indecipherable. But in the anime, you're like, oh, that's much better. So for me, it doesn't bother that I know what happens because I can still watch it and enjoy it. And also, I forget a lot.
Don't you like, what's the word? Like, your enjoyment is lost because you know what's going to happen?
No.
You don't miss that?
Absolutely not. I am not one for long form media. That I don't get. For movies, absolutely. That's only 2 hours. If I get it spoiled, then what is the point, right? But for longer form things, for me, spoilers, if you can even call it that, don't bother me as much because A, there's a lot more to it, and B, it's way more about a longer journey, right? If I learn about the final thing in a 70-hour series, well, that's fine. There's still another 69 hours of stuff to learn about, right? For movies, yeah, I don't want to hear about that because it's ruining my time with it. But for longer form things, it doesn't bother me. Also, that's not a very plot-heavy series. Okay. That's one about character interactions. So seeing those character interactions recontextualized in another form still makes me enjoy it.
Okay.
And then finally, every girl here is best girl, so I don't mind who wins. Any girl you want to win. I would say Richan because she's small and adorable. That's about it. Okay. This one's for both of us. So I came back after seeing the Aladdin remake and it was okay. Nothing good, nothing bad. But can't stop hearing the Will Smith Friend Like Me. Plus Master Hand makes a cameo. Probably when he becomes the big glove.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, that was in the original. So since we're living in a remake, or an era of remakes, what's a remake of a franchise of a thing that you like? So what's some remakes that we like?
A remake of a movie and a remake of a game.
Okay. I can't think of many remakes of movies I like.
Okay. Then games. That's just...
But here's the reason why. A game needs to be remade to be put onto a new medium. A new console.
New audiences.
New audiences.
Yeah.
I can watch the original movies whenever. And they re-release the originals on everything.
Yeah.
Right?
That's not like...
Yeah.
You're more incapable of watching those movies later on, right?
Like, I don't need remakes of stuff. The only remakes I would say are probably good, and I haven't even seen it yet, but it's because I like what I've seen of it a little bit, would be like Bumblebee. It's like because it's a redo of Transformers, but it's going for a much more faithful art style to the original stuff. Have you seen the comparison of Starscream in Bumblebee to Starscream in the Transformers 2?
No.
Oh my god, it's the worst thing ever. It's like you look at it for a second and you go, Michael Bay is a hack and a fraud.
I still have to watch Bumblebee.
Star Scream Bumblebee comparison. It is insane. I don't know if I can find it here. But it's like there's a side-by-side picture. Okay, but where is it?
I know what Starscream looks like in the Transformers 2. I don't know what he looks like in Bumblebee.
It's just so it's accurate. It just looks like him. I'll never be able to find it here. But it's like it looks like his original like movie like original counterpart.
Yeah.
Like it looks good, right? Where versus I think that the Starscream that's in the Michael Bay movies is one of the biggest travesties of all time. He's like star-shaped and looks terrible. Like yeah. This is like that's the original. He's like long and weird. Where in the new one, he looks like how he looked like in the first cartoon.
Okay.
So it's like that in that regard. Yeah, I much prefer the Bumblebee stuff. So that's the reason where I'd say movie remakes are fine. But at the same time, otherwise, unless it's bad, why remake it?
Okay. So remakes for games.
Remakes for games.
A reboot.
Well, no, we're gonna go remakes. Oh, well, remakes or reboots? Well, reboots are different.
Yeah.
Let's go with remakes because it's not an Aladdin reboot. It's a remake. Reboots are new universe and stuff, but remake is interesting.
Well, I'd say like, Mario 64.
I actually don't like Mario 64's remake.
Oh, like on the DS?
I don't like it.
No?
I like the original way more.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think there's something about the graphics.
I want to see Ocarina of Time, but I don't want that game touched.
I think the 3DS one's a wonderful remake.
I keep forgetting it already got remade.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, I'm looking forward to Final Fantasy VII Remake because it takes what you know and redoes it as a different genre, which I think is way cooler than it being the same gameplay style. Because the original still exists. And heck, you can mod the original to look HD. People are making mods for it where it replaces the models with, like, the HD models from other games.
Oh, okay.
So, like, you can make it look HD. It looks like crap that way, but you can. So I think I really like remakes that do it in sort of that style where it redoes it for a new perspective, you know, not necessarily just it, but nicer looking. Like, as much as people love the Crash and Spyro remakes, it's like, it's neat, but it's just a coat of paint.
So you want more like Ratchet and Clank?
Yeah. I want it to be more of a, you know, I don't know. But at the same time, there are times where I'm like, I don't want it touched. And I gotta look at my games for this. The collection. Oh, Zero Mission. Metroid Zero Mission.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one. Oh, Metroid, Return of Samus.
Yeah. Samus Returns, you mean?
Samus Returns. Either way.
That was a remake of 2.
That was a remake of 2, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great one.
But Zero Mission is remake of 1.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying 2 examples. 2 great examples of ones. Oh, I mean, there's the Pokemon games. They do a good job with the remakes, usually.
I want a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3.
I don't think that needs a remake.
Okay, then 1.
It did?
That's better than Twin Snakes.
What, do you know about Twin Snakes? Have you played it?
No.
It's
I just hear
not
it's
bad.
not the greatest.
No, I mean, the only reason people don't think it's the greatest is, A, it's really unbalanced because imagine playing through Metal Gear Solid 1 with the aiming of Metal Gear Solid 2. It ruins it. You can shoot people with the tranquilizer through everything. And then the cutscenes are more action-y. But here's the
music's
thing.
worse.
Here's the thing, though. I've heard a theory about Metal Gear Solid the Twin Snakes that I love.
What?
Metal Gear Solid 1 happened. Twin Snakes is the story told to people in the Solid Snake Simulation program to make him look like the crazy action hero, right? So when they're teaching when they're teaching Raiden about the story of Snake, it's like, no, he jumped off the missile of Metal Gear Rex and kick flipped it, and then it shot into the Rex, and then he like ora Liquid Snake. So then like, I love that idea because it's like,
cool.
it's a way to
I do like
recontextualize it, right? Like, I think that's a cool idea.
But I do feel like I want to see Metal Gear Solid 3 in the 5 engine.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool, but also never happen. The 5 engine is gone. They're not going to use it again.
Screw you, Konami.
I don't know. I'd kind of like to see... I'm thinking for Mega Man, even. I think Mega Man got more than enough remakes. Because they were going to do full remakes of all the classic and X games in the PSP style, but that got canceled after the first ones for both of them.
I want to see like a... Well, I scrapped it because it's kind of more of a reboot, but I kind of want to see like a remake of Burnout 3. But that would be kind of a reboot.
Yeah, it'd be a reboot at that point,
Yeah.
kind of. I don't know.
Any Sonic games you want remade?
No.
No?
Re-released, yeah, but not remade.
Okay.
Okay, but there is talk of a Sonic Adventure remake that's been going around. That could be good or it could be awful. That game is weird.
Remake of Persona 1.
That happened. Persona 1's on the PSP and it's
right,
totally
yeah.
remade. Same with the 2s.
Okay. Never mind.
No, that's about it. I think we covered it.
Cool.
He says Shadow of the Colossus for PS4. That's fair. Okay, last one. Adrian and maybe Tanner. So Game of Thrones ended.
This got me thinking, from the Best Friends podcast, was there anything
Yeah.
Western TV show that ended perfectly?
So here's like Breaking Bad and MGS4.
Breaking Bad ended pretty well.
MGS4 ends very well.
It does?
It's a better ending than Metal Gear Solid 5. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Danganronpa. Holy crap. It's a perfect ending. And I cannot say anything about it. Because it is so spoilery. But it is mind-blowing. It's so good. Bayonetta 1.
Bayonetta 1?
If there was no Bayonetta 2, Bayonetta 1 would still have a perfect ending. I loved it. Devil May Cry 5. That one is another series ender that I'd be fine with. Because it's like... So, one thing that's cool about Devil May Cry 5, the director said the entire game, the thesis of the game, was to lead up to the ending moment. And he said the story, the plot, the gameplay was all mounting to lead up to that ending. That was the first thing that was planned. And it is a moment. So good. I want a statue of that moment. Like, it is a character statue moment that I want.
Okay. I really love the ending of BioShock 1.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, where it's all like... I just remember really liking it.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. That's another one where if it ended there, that'd be fine.
The third one, too, I hear that's like a very divisive ending. But, like,
It was an interesting ending, for sure. It was an ending that...
mind-boggling.
Yeah.
You needed to read up on, but, like...
Yeah, it's interesting, though. It's
like infinite worlds and all that. And
yeah. I like the
how
idea.
everything got connected.
It almost got a little too pretentious a little bit by the end. It was a little bit butt smart felly. Whoa! Butt fart smelling for me a little bit, where it's like, oh, the E3 trailers that we lied to you about, that was an alternate universe. Oh, smell that. That's why she wears a different design. Smell that fart. It's so good.
I like the idea of... I'm just going to... Like, when all the Elizabeths are disappearing.
Yeah.
And the last one, it goes to black.
Yeah.
I like to imagine that's that universe disappearing.
Yep.
So.
Makes sense. Anything else with a perfect ending? I'm trying to think about stuff I've never talked about on the podcast before. Because I've talked about some of the movies that, like, I think have perfect endings. I don't know.
Oh, movies.
Yeah, movies are on there.
That's a whole other can of worms.
I've talked about The Graduate. That's an outstanding ending. That's the one with the bus shot that goes on forever.
I feel we can, like, expand this into a whole...
Yeah, there'd be a lot to talk about with
episode.
that. So I think we did a good job. We covered a few.
Yeah.
So, thank you for sending in the questions, Mauricio. So, where can we find each other? We forgot to do that at the beginning. Where can we find ourselves?
We don't do that at the beginning. We just do our names at the beginning. We didn't
that's
even do
true.
our names, did we?
Yeah. Well, that's fine. I'm Tanner.
I'm
Hi.
Adrian.
So you can find me on the internet at TannerLPer on Twitter. You can find me at Tanner of the North on YouTube, as well as Patreon if you are interested in supporting me and helping the podcast, helping my channel. You can get some cool things like a Discord link. No one's taken the Discord link. I do have a few people, but no one's taken it.
Like ours?
Yeah, it's been given. No one's taken it, but that's fine.
That's okay.
There's if you want me to play a quick look of a game, there is a category for that where if you just $50, I will play whatever you want. I will buy it and play it so long as it is not a DS or 3DS game, because I can't record those. What about you?
Game Boy Advance game.
I can, because I can put it in my Game Boy player.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
You can find me at Age1000 on Twitter. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yep, for now.
For now.
And with that, we will bid you all adieu,
Well,
unless...
we should be... Next time for the foreign exchange
Yes.
is...
3 weeks, right?
Do you want to do it the week after E3 or the 2 weeks?
We'll do the week after E3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So...
3 weeks.
Let me pull up the good old calendar here.
Yep. Unless you're listening to this in the future, in which case, hi, future person who's listening. It's embarrassing for us.
That's on the 16th.
The 16th, then.
It's Father's Day.
Okay. We will be doing that. And then we will also be...
It's Watch Dogs 2 and Sonic Adventure
2. Sonic
Battle.
Adventure 2 Battle.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll also be doing a E3 predictions bonus freight, which will be coming out probably within a couple days after this episode goes up, just to space it out a bit,
Okay.
give it a bit of time to breathe. And yeah, but we're going to be moving on right away to the spoiler section. So if you don't want to hear about JoJo Part 5 or Persona 4
And
or Game of Thrones, which I'm sure you have a few choice words for, and I've been listening some choice words about, you can cut out now. It's fine. We understand. But if you want to stick around for that, stick around and we'll be talking about it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yosh, 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 yosh. Yosh, 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 yosh. Oh, so good. Oh, that was a good JoJo episode.
All right, so we just have Green Day and Oasis parts 1 and 2.
Yes.
So, what'd you think?
I forgot how weird those guys get. Like the petting, give me sugar cubes. I want the sugar cubes. He's like, oh, I'm going to give you 3 sugar cubes. Oh, I love the sugar cubes. And it's like, I missed the sugar cube. He spits it out and launches it back up. He's like, I got the 3 sugar cubes. Boy, those guys are freaks. I remember reading it and thinking this will be so cool, and it's animated when the bullet flies up to the thing and then shoots straight down. I'm like, that would be so cool, and it was.
That was the classic JoJo moment.
That was so good. What else? I love how he gets put into the trash compactor.
Yeah.
In the Rome stage in All-Star Battle, that is a dramatic death where if you do a super buy it, they get sent into there, which is awesome.
So like I didn't have anything before, but like the 7-page beatdown.
Oh, it's good.
I was like getting hyped.
It was good.
I was like, no way.
They gave it so much time that in the credits, they literally credited people who were on the 7-page beatdown team specifically.
Wow.
And it was down to the syllable with the manga.
Wow.
They did the exact number of mudas. It was incredible. That was so good. Oh yeah, and then one re in there because you know it's his daddy. Just a reminder for that thing that people can forget about because
just the whole Cicolato. How do you pronounce his name? Chocolata. How he's like moving around the helicopter like half, and his spine's
he's just cut himself off, and he's like, I know now how to keep myself alive, and you're like, okay. It's like his hands attacking, and you're like, that's not how bodies work, but okay.
And I'm like, oh man, here's Mista getting incapacitated again.
Mista has never been successful with shooting anyone but himself. Like
I was like, when he's shooting the bullets, I'm like, they're obviously gonna get like attacked.
Yeah, right. And it's like you see him, it's like, I got him. And then you see the
Do you
bullet
even know
holes
where
in
he
him.
is?
You see the bullet holes in him, and you're like, "Oh God, Mister, what did you do this time?"
Like, are those numbers dead?
I think if they're all destroyed, they're dead. I think they will respawn if there's even one left.
Okay. And number 5 was the one that was...
Yes.
That's the cowardly one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mister! It's just the whole time. He's like screaming. I was watching this upstairs and my family's like, please turn that down. We just hear this screaming little... Mister!
And then he came in clutch with it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then how he's like... How, I can't pronounce it again. Chocolata. He's like whimpering about it. Like, you lied to me. Why are you so mean? And then he gets beat down. And the whole thing with like the voicemail Seko listened to.
Yeah.
It's like, I love you.
It's a little sad. It's a little sad, but you're like, aw.
And then it ended.
Yep, and you get to see a certain character.
Polnareff.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming, but
Do you know anything interesting about him?
He's in a wheelchair.
Yes, he is. I was going to see if you noticed.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, he's in a wheelchair.
And he has a scar across his face.
Scar. Definitely probably going to be a little bit older, you know?
That's all I've seen of him.
Well, you will get to see.
I saw a meme where it's like, I need to pull it up. When Polnareff heard the Mudas going on.
Yeah. You probably would have, too.
This one. Polnareff sitting in the Coliseum when he hears 30 seconds of someone shouting Muda Muda off in the distance. And it's the guy who's like looking concerned, looking up.
That's good. That's good.
So does Polnareff know that Giorno is Dio's son?
I actually don't remember.
Because that'd be an interesting development.
I actually don't remember at all. There is
He
stuff
doesn't
with
either.
him.
Ask him, dude.
Yeah, no, well, because a reminder, we read it when it was badly translated.
Okay.
So we don't, there's stuff that they're being said that I'm like, I don't remember that, because of course, the version I read was translated by a bunch of Chinese students who then translated it to Japanese to Chinese to English, of which they only speak Chinese. So it wasn't Dwang tier, but it was close. So, yeah, there's some stuff that I'm still enjoying and learning from it.
What happened in part 1? I don't remember much happening.
In what?
Part 1. In like the
Jonathan kills
no. I know that.
When you
watched it twice.
When you first said it, I actually thought you meant I don't remember what happens in Phantom Blood anymore. That was so the part 1 was them with the getting in the helicopter at the start, and then they're on the ground, and the helicopter's in the air, and then that's when they start releasing Green Day,
and
like,
the
through
vine,
everywhere, and then the vine grabs
Okay, I
it.
thought
Yeah, that's part
the
1.
previous episode before.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, that's part 1.
Yeah, nothing much happened in that one. Nothing like.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, it's the battles rising up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Part
we still
3
have
is next week.
We still have the final
There's
part for
9 episodes left.
Yep. So it's probably going to be one part of
Seko, because
one part of Seko, and then some parts, and then there is an epilogue.
Oh,
This is the only JoJo part with an epilogue. So
Interesting.
that will be one episode. If not at the end, they might move it slightly before the end. Like maybe they'll do it a middle of like the final round of episodes. But it does have an epilogue, which is a very interesting epilogue. So,
but yeah, it's
ramping up.
It's getting there.
I hope it ends with a part 6 tease. I hope it ends with just something to be like, it's coming. Don't worry, it's coming.
Yeah, because Bruno's dealing with Seko.
Yep. Because Bruno,
What's Nonsha doing? Oh, he's
in the turtle.
yeah, because he's
He's with
incapacitated.
and he's with Trish.
Trish. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I don't know. Don't remember.
So I think there was like a
Oh,
part
yeah, Bruno's dead. So then that's why he doesn't get the
Yeah.
stuff on him, and we're just
Seko like put that together.
Yeah, Seko's like, that's a bit weird. Not as weird as me, but a bit weird.
So I think it gets something in part 7 spoiled.
Okay,
A name.
tell me.
Pico? Piccolo? Not Piccolo. No. Starts with a P.
Poco Loco?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's not a major. I mean, it's a character name, but it doesn't. If you don't know anything about him, you're fine.
And I hear like there's something to do with time.
Okay. It's not major.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's not major. No,
Okay,
no.
okay.
No, I think... Yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I was like, I just wanted to go on the subreddit for a sec.
Ooh. Be careful.
Yeah, I know.
Be careful. even shitpost crusaders is you got to be careful about there.
I'm always careful, but I don't know. I just,
Well, I mean, you're planning on reading part 6 after, right?
should I?
I would. I read part 6, and that's a good translation.
Okay.
And it's. I couldn't wait and part 6 is one of my favorites. Part 6, 7. You could even go on to 8 after, because it 7 transitions nicely into 8. But it's very interesting.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
I would say honestly, the biggest spoilers are at the end of part 6 because it's the end of the trilogy of 4, 5, 6. You could probably avoid 7 and be fine. Like there's a few things, but they're not huge. Like they're big on their okay. It's like there's spoilers for the part and spoilers for JoJo, right?
Okay.
Part 6 has some JoJo spoilers where part 7 is more individualized pretty much.
Okay.
So,
Sounds
yeah.
good. Is that it?
That's it for JoJo. Now moving on to the other thing with giant floating ghosts that represent our inner demons. Hi, Persona 4 Golden.
Okay, so starting off from Rise's dungeon.
Yep.
Is there something you can like events that we can like skim through? Because I have like
I'm gonna
thoughts.
go walk through, because then we'll be able to see the headers of the stuff. Just even through the.
We should do golden though.
Oh, you're right. You're right, because you are playing that version. Just look out for spoilers. Look away.
I mean,
just
I
in
think all the
case.
spoilers are kind of.
Yeah. Well, I don't know where you're actually at.
I'm at the. They're just doing the winter.
Okay, boss fight.
It's like the golden exclusive stuff right now.
Okay. Okay, that doesn't help at all. How can I bring this up? Dungeons, maybe? That could help.
Yeah.
List of bosses. Oh, I'm so worried about giving you a spoiler for some of the final stuff, though. Okay, no, we won't do that. Okay, we'll just go Persona... how can we do this, then? Because I don't want to show you... There is...
I know.
Stuff
He told
at
me
the
there's
end.
still some stuff.
So, okay, right here. Midnight Child, and they're listed there. Perfect.
Dungeons. Here we go.
Dungeons. There we go. And I'm just going to go up to... Okay. Are we good? Yes, we're good here. Yeah, we're good here. Okay. It's not in order.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Cool. That's the one at the bottom is Persona 4 Arena. So you're good.
Okay.
It's not even a big thing.
Cool. So so the stuff with Mitsuo being the because the pedophilic
I'm sorry. Wait, what? Who are you talking about?
Mr. Maruka, the creep,
He's
the
not
teacher.
He was a pedophile? I never got that.
I got those vibes.
I just got he was a hard ass.
No, he's
I never
talking
got.
about sexual stuff in front of the kids.
I got that as him being like, "Oh, you kids are disgusting."
Oh, maybe.
But not.
I don't know.
Yeah, I never got that. Now, mind you, the replacement teacher. Then yes,
I'm like, you are.
She's the one that you're like. Actually, you should not be teaching children.
But yeah, he died. It's
Yeah.
just a sudden death. I'm like,
Yeah,
what's going on
suddenly happens, and you're like, "Woo, that's a surprise."
here? And then, so the video you showed me, with the recap.
The Hayam Daisy one.
Yeah, and you said like Mitsuo appears. I'm like, we'll never see him again. I'm like, oh, is he the killer? And then he kind of.
Hi, Yuki. Can I be your lover?
So he has I really like his dungeon, Void Quest.
Void Quest is cool.
The gamer dungeon.
The gamers rise up. So the boss of the giant like pixel dude came before 3D Dot Game Heroes.
Oh yeah,
but
that's the vibe I got.
ironic. Atlas published it.
Oh,
so it ended up being like, oh, that's kind of neat.
That's cool. I like how it was like the 8-bit theme of I'll Face Myself.
Yep.
Or the boss theme. Yeah, Yeah, the Mitsuo gets captured. Everything's fine.
Everything seems to be okay, but you might notice by this point you still don't have a party member that is advertised. So you're like, wait a second.
And then Naoto
Naoto
appears. At first, I wasn't a fan of her.
Okay.
And then like met her and all that. Turns like she was pretending to be a boy because like the whole
societal standards, like boys can't do this, girls have to do this. Yeah.
Yep. Then her dungeon was secret laboratory.
Yep.
I like the theme. It was really, can't really like remember it, but I remember.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
At this point, I was really like over leveled. So
yeah, you were telling me about your levels, and I'm like, what have you?
You know
been
what level
doing?
I'm on right now?
What?
94.
Jeez. 99 is the limit.
Really?
Yeah. And you're on normal.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm grinding.
Are you?
There was a quest that was like these enemies that spawned so infrequently, and I was just going through it. I was just like, I had a podcast going. I was just playing.
You got into the groove.
Yeah.
Welcome to RPGs.
I love Persona's turn-based. And by the way, I pre-ordered Q2
Oh yeah.
because like B convinced me.
I was actually considering giving you Q to play the original.
Okay.
The only problem is I bought it digitally on my 3DS, and I'm not going to give you my 3DS for that.
But yeah, I'm looking because it's a Persona turn-based combat.
That's all that it pretty much is.
And I love that combat.
Though it is slightly different.
Okay. But
Slightly
I think I'll
different,
still
yeah.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
More Persona 5, like, how
Yeah.
can you go wrong?
Yeah, for sure. And now with the 4 characters, who you know.
Yep. So Naoto's boss was kind of easy, I think.
Yeah, I remember having no trouble with Naoto's boss, and I was even underleveled.
I was waiting for like a gimmick.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like elemental stuff.
Yep.
I was kind of...
So Naoto was actually changed quite a lot between Golden and the original. I think in the original, Naoto pretty much only used dark and light skills, the instant kill ones, where I think she's more balanced in Golden, which changes things up quite a bit.
Then after that,
yep,
we learn the ball drops, the end game starts. I love the end game in this game.
I love because it's a long end game,
yeah,
and that's what I wanted from Persona 5. I feel like Persona 5's end game comes really quickly and it ends really quickly
because it shoots like the Memento stuff.
Yeah, and then it's so fast.
And you're like, we gotta get this done.
Yeah, this one lasts a long time, and I like that.
Yeah. So how did it start?
Well, it starts with Nanako.
Oh yeah, Namatame, the whole thing.
Yep.
He gets kidnapped. I'm like, okay, Namatame is the killer. I'm like, okay, it's a bit underwhelming.
Yeah, now, mind you, you can find him around town before it.
Where was he?
He's down by the river always. You can talk to him, and he's just freaking out on his own, and he's like, don't come talk to me. I'm not worthy. I hate it. I hate people. And yeah, you can just find him, and you're just like, the main character's like, what a freak. Let's leave.
Yeah, and then Nanako gets kidnapped by him.
Mm-hmm. So, you got Max social link with Nanako?
Not yet.
Not yet?
No.
Okay, I think in the original, if you didn't...
What?
Early game over.
Oh, I guess that was changed.
Yeah, it might have been.
Maybe I did get her maxed.
I think it's easy to get her maxed because you can just talk to her all the time, pretty much.
But anyway, she gets kidnapped. Put in the TV. We learn that Namatame's throwing the people in the TV from a delivery truck, and the way you piece it together
is really good.
I love it.
Oh, you never talked about Teddy's body.
Okay. There was a moment recently, skipping ahead, he's living with me.
Yeah.
Now. And I came home in the evening, and Teddy's like, hey, what's up, dude? He's like, so I went to school today, and someone asked me if I was a transfer student, and I'm like, no, I'm Teddy. And that just made me laugh out loud. I love Teddy.
He's garbage, but he's lovable garbage, right?
He's so like flamboyant.
Oh,
I love it.
I love in one of the parts where it's like when he first comes out, I think it's Yosuke. It's like, yo, a white guy. You're like...
And just his like interactions with everyone.
He's-
I know how he's the Junes mascot now.
Yeah.
And he's like serving people.
So in future games, he wears the bear body, but it's just him in it. And he'll wear it outside. And so whenever you see him in future stuff,
Yeah, I'm like, why are you in this suit right now?
he thinks it's comfy.
And the whole stuff with his fur. I'm like, if you go into the fridge, like, because he's lived with me now, right? And it was like, one time I found like a magazine. I'm pretty sure it was a porn magazine.
Yeah, it probably is.
And then another one was just his fur in a container. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh, Ted.
I think I like him more than Morgana.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah,
think so.
Yeah. I really didn't like Morgana's hissy fit.
No, that sucked.
I hope they cut that in Royal.
What if they replace that with human Morgana being like, Lady on, I'm human now, love me.
I'd like that. That'd be much
that'd
better.
be great.
But anyway, back to, because you go into
Heaven.
Nanako's heaven.
Yeah.
Love this dungeon.
That's such a good theme too, and it
the
takes
songs.
a while to get to the lyrics,
Yeah.
right? Like it's you hear it and it's going, and then it hits the lyrics. You're like, yeah, and then it goes away, and you're like, oh, I will say, Persona 4 Dancing has an extended remix of it where I'm just like, oh, it's so good.
Then, yeah, Namatame's boss fight.
So I didn't have too much trouble with him, but a lot of people do.
I didn't have much trouble with him.
You were super over leveled though.
Yeah. I like the
He
theme.
was just Jesus because he thinks he's a savior.
Yeah.
So he literally thinks of himself as Jesus, and he's like, "I'm saving these people." So yeah,
Yeah. His theme, New World Fool, the song's called.
it's a good one.
Love it.
It's a good one.
It's so like, it feels so desperate.
Yep.
And like pleading, just
Yep.
how Namatame is.
Oh yeah.
It's like the equivalent of Rivers in the Desert, I think.
Yeah, I'd say. Well, yes, I'd say so. Yeah,
yeah,
it's not
yeah.
the final boss theme. Yeah.
Yeah. Then after that is the whole.
Got to pin
Where
it.
we start?
Yeah,
like-
because at that point you could be like, "I'm done. I'm good,"
Yeah.
or you could be like, "Hold up."
Well, because it didn't really make sense.
It didn't make sense. You're just like, okay.
Like, you're saving people, you're also killing them?
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean? What do
did-
you...
Yeah.
And, like, you have to do specific things, and I looked that up, just to make sure I wanted this true ending. I wanted to see all of it.
It's yeah, definitely.
And then you learn Namatame's actually, like, trying to prevent the deaths, and, like, he's trying to, like, get him away from whoever's killing him.
So who could it be? And you got to wrap your head around this whole thing, and you're.
Because the part in the diner,
Yep.
we're, like, piecing together all the evidence.
So it literally, you're given a list of every character in the game.
Yeah.
And it's like, think about it. Does it make sense for any of them? And like, you have to just think on your own. There's no evidence board or anything.
No.
You just have to think. It's like, okay,
Because,
who
like,
could it be?
who knows where I live?
Yeah.
Who knows where, like, my family lives?
Yep.
Like, who's been in the house?
Yep.
Like, what were the other clues?
It's been a long time for me since last week. But even just thinking about
But
like
the warning letters for the-
motivations, right? Even
Yeah.
motivation, like why, who would not want this to happen to people? Like, who feels sad when someone passes away or something, right? Like that,
Yeah, because, like...
And that's why the answer is Nanako. I can't believe she's an option.
Yeah,
so
'cause-
you just had to rat me out, big bro.
the warning letters was, like, a big hint.
Yeah.
Because, like, the whole time...
Yeah, and there's no fluffy pancakes this time.
Nope.
There's nothing that is so, like...
In your, like...
in
not
your
your face. Not in
well,
your
not
face.
in your
kinda
face,
like,
but so blatant that it confirms a character.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it is... you have to piece it together. Or be like me and play the game 7 years too late and just know ahead of time.
What gave me the hints towards it, or, like, my suspicions, way back when...
Oh, should we just say who it is?
It's Adachi.
It's Adachi.
Way back when...
Let's talk about murder.
You
Sorry.
crashed my train of thought.
Too many memes.
Back when the creepy guy is, like, watching Rise,
Yeah.
and like, they find him, I'm like, oh, this guy killer, and Adachi's like, this guy's the killer. Like, gotta take him in right now.
Yep.
I'm like, Adachi, you're a bit too desperate to pin it on someone.
Yep.
And I'm like thinking about it, like, Adachi, like, what has he been doing?
What's he doing? What's this
Yeah.
dude doing?
Like, he just can't be this dopey detective. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, okay, it might be Adachi. And then I selected him, and like, it was.
Yep. You do get 3 chances to pick. So,
Okay.
So
I thought I wanted one because I'm like,
I know, right? You
I
wanted
wanted
to
to
make
look
sure,
through
yeah.
everyone to,
Yep.
think about it and like, and then meanwhile Teddy's like in my dreams,
Yep.
just chilling in the velvet area.
Actually, that might be new for Golden.
Okay.
I think it might be.
Because he's just kind of like he doesn't feel because like he thinks Nanako dies.
Oh,
Well, Nanako
no,
does
this does, yeah.
Yeah, and then he like, oh, I have no reason to be
Yeah,
here
yeah.
anymore. I didn't think Nanako died like at all. I was like, I think she like the whole thing that was happening to her. I think she was turned into a shadow.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Okay, maybe you can't tell me. Okay, then
Magatsu Inaba.
Inaba. Kind of disappointed with the theme.
A little bit, I could see that, yeah. Oh, are you talking about the music theme or the visual theme?
The music theme.
I love the visual theme.
I
think it looks so cool.
Yeah, I was expecting more of a gimmick. Than
Yeah, and it's
what we got.
Yeah,
Because you have to go through the whole.
Yeah.
And then go through that whole world and then come back. Anything?
And then you fight Adachi.
Yeah.
Did you notice his persona?
It's yeah, I noticed it right away.
Yeah.
Like that's my persona.
Yeah, but an evil version.
Huh.
Yeah. It's actually called Magatsu Izanagi.
Okay.
So, and I'm just saying, worth noting, you and Adachi share a voice actor. They're both Johnny Young Bosch.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a little bit.
Well, Adachi's boss fight was kind of a breeze. Again,
Yeah, no, he. Well, I mean, he's just a dude, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's just like at the end of the day, he's just a dude. And then, did you get his motivation?
Oh, like he's just like how life is so boring.
Yeah, he's just bored. Why are you doing this? What's the point?
I'm bored, dude.
I'm bored. Like, it's a boring life. Let's spice it up.
Like it's understandable too.
Right. And remember what Yosuke's whole thing of being like, man, being in the small town sucks, right? So then that's just that to the next level of just like, it's boring.
Okay, he got sent there to the boonies, and he's like, I hate this.
I hate this
so much.
Gotta make my own
Game.
mischief, you
My
know?
own game.
Yeah.
Like,
There's some people who sympathize with him. That's saying something.
I could see that.
Actually, one thing you can do is you bring that max social link up with Adachi. You get to that boss battle with him. You can agree with him and get a different ending in
Really?
Golden only.
Huh.
Yeah,
Have to look that
because he's
up.
a new social link for Golden where you can actually hang out with him, and it does provide hints if you do
Okay.
that. And I think if you go all the way, he just tells you.
Really?
Yeah, and then you get to the end, and you get to a choice, and he'll just say he'll say you've been with me for so long. Join me. Let's do this. We can change the world, and you can say yes. So that's pretty cool.
Rewinding, when the fog sets into the real world,
Yeah.
the theme, like that really ominous,
Yep.
creepy theme that goes on. I think it's just called fog.
It's called the fog.
Like this, the atmosphere nails.
Yep.
It's nailed. Like there's something not right here. Like I was waiting for the God ball to drop. I'm like,
Oh,
this
yeah?
is obviously God stuff going on right now. Like,
Yeah.
like higher being stuff. But then like Dachi gets possessed by amino acid. That's what I like.
Amino no Sagiri.
Yeah.
Big ol' eyeball.
With gas.
Yep. I love the design for the boss fight of it.
I feel like compared to Yaldabaoth, it's kind of disappointing in terms of like engagement.
Yeah, but it's not the end.
I know it's not the end.
Like, that's...
Well, because he said like, I'll just go chill over here. Actually,
Yeah.
I'll go like not doing.
But I
anything
just
for a
love
while.
the picture of like the eye at like in the desert at like kind
Yeah.
of at the angle. It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I did get wiped out by his beam once,
Oh yeah.
and I went back and like read up on it and said like,
As we go on, there's a few bosses that use status ailments to do some shenanigans. So yeah, you'll have to get used to that.
but yeah, I got destroyed by him, and then I read up like you shouldn't fight him until on the last day because then it'll time skip. So I filled that entire time with getting Kanji
I-
to max.
I don't even think I did that. I think I just fought him.
Yeah, I did that. And
Huh.
like,
I think I just fought him and beat him.
yeah.
Huh.
But
I didn't even know about the
that
time skip.
entire week to fill out Kanji's.
So
Social
whose personas have you evolved?
Like pass. Is that a golden only thing?
No.
Because Beat said he doesn't remember.
No, evolving their persona. Okay, so evolving them was in the original. Golden adds another evolution.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Golden adds another evolution, and I
Okay.
think it's only in like the very end of the game, pretty much.
Okay. Well, no, I think
Wait, did you evolve some of them further?
because after the final boss, it's the winter time, and if they all want to talk to you, the max ones.
The final boss is not the winter time.
No, like not final boss, but like after you fight Amino.
Amino's not the final boss, even
Okay.
of the base game.
Okay.
Okay.
But after that,
Okay.
like
Oh, so it's in the winter that you can
Yeah.
actually do it? Oh, okay, interesting.
Snowflakes love that song.
That's new, I think. Oh, no. No, I've
No,
heard
it's
it, yeah.
new. It's only in the golden.
Yeah. But I heard it in dancing. That's a good one.
Yeah. And it was like, but like you talk to them, and they like confess even more to you
Oh, that's new then.
about
Okay.
their stories, and then their personas evolve another time.
Okay, so the first evolution was in the original.
Yeah.
The second is new for Golden.
Okay, so
I thought it was right at the end of the game. So I didn't know it was
I got
you had time.
Yukiko's, Kanji's, and Yosuke's.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember I think Yosuke's looks pretty cool.
It's like a like a ring above his head.
Yeah.
But his super evolved, it puts like a sun on top
Yeah, I
of
like
that.
the sun. I like the sun.
What else?
Okay. So, where are you at right now? So you're in the winter, you said, right?
So it's the golden stuff right now.
Yeah.
Marie's gone.
Yep.
Margaret's telling me like, hey, prepare,
Yep.
because you're going to be finding her soon, and it's going to be a dangerous trek. So what I've been doing is just doing quests, filling out quests, getting those all done. Finally did like the hard boots mission in front of the bookstore guy.
What's that?
You have to get like 5 thick hides in the sauna.
Okay.
Like, those are super rare enemies, so I'm like, I just didn't want to deal with that.
Yep.
But now that I'm so like overpowered, it's like
You could probably
a
fight the
breeze.
Reaper at this point, honestly.
Yeah, really.
Actually, I think the Reaper is only New Game Plus in Gold.
No, I can find him.
No, you can
I
find
hear
him.
him.
It's New Game Plus in the original.
Because I hear the chains.
Yep.
And sometimes when I go to a chest, it's like, are you sure you want to open
Yeah,
this?
you could probably find him right now. You don't get any, like, you get one piece of ultimate equipment for one of your party members. Like,
Okay.
they're their best weapon. So if you want to get it with everyone, you pretty much have to fight them 8 times or whatever.
Okay. But I'm not done the game yet, but like I love this game.
It's yeah, right?
But I don't think I love it as much as Persona 5.
Fair enough.
Like,
Fair enough.
I know Beat's gonna like cut my head off for it,
I
but
know.
like when I look at Persona 5, I'm like, I love these characters a lot.
Yeah.
Like this game is important to me. Whereas Persona 4, I'm like,
I definitely like, even though I technically started with 3, I like 4 more than 3. So I think for me it's just, I don't know. I love just the style and story more of 4.
I think I'd agree with that.
You know, I think the confidants are way better than the social links. The ones in 4, they're okay. The ones in 3, they range from being awesome to being, I literally don't want to do this. 4 has some that are mostly good, but nothing outstanding aside from the party members.
Did that trip to the Persona 3 area happen?
The original, yeah.
No, like, I mean, like, last time we talked about it.
No, not last time.
No, yeah. I'm like, when I went there, I'm like, this is obviously like Persona 3
Yep.
stuff. I have no idea what's going on.
There's
but...
also Persona 3 characters, and they play Persona 3 music, which is awesome.
And apparently, like, all the areas you go to are Persona 3
Oh, yeah.
areas, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, because Persona 4 is like Majora's Mask, where it's built literally on top of the same system.
Oh, okay.
And like, most of Persona 3 is in the files of Persona 4.
Huh.
So, yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Anything else you want to ask me?
Do you want to play the fighting game after this?
I want to play everything. I want to
Well, we'll play
experience.
We'll play some. Honestly, we could start with the original arena, or we could just jump to Ultimax. Either way, it's fine. There's no real Persona 3 spoilers in the characters or anything, so that should work.
Okay.
We'll play some of that after.
Sure. Is that it?
That's it. Well, I mean, aside from if you want to vent your frustrations on Game of Thrones.
I've done this so much. I'm so exhausted talking about it.
Do you just not want to? It's fine.
I don't want
to.
to.
Okay, just give a 3-sentence recap on how you feel.
Underwhelmed.
Underwhelmed. That's one sentence. I said sentence, not words, but that's a sentence. Sigh.
Like, it's just, why did Bran get kingship? Like, what?
He started it all.
Okay, but he did nothing.
He fell out of a window.
Tanner.
And now his Pinor doesn't work.
In the final season, he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, because he fell out of a window. In the first season.
No, but he has these powers.
What?
He has powers to possess animals.
Oh.
He can look into the future. And it's so like it ends where it's like where it could get interesting. Where, like, how is this like king who can see into the future, who can control, who can see everything?
That's what happens when you watch incest. That's why Alabama wants it to be real. They all want powers. You see it and your third eye opens and you can now become the crows.
I'm like... And then there's Arya who just goes off to...
Become a monster hunter.
Where does that come from? You're an assassin, not Indiana Jones. Not Christopher Columbus.
From what I heard, I actually kind of like that idea of sending him off on the hero's journey, kind of. That's my phone vibrating.
But we're not going to get that because no more sequels. No sequels. Absolutely not. From HBO. Said no sequels after this. We're only doing prequels.
They've only...
Like, as in spin-offs where that...
I think that will probably change. Wow, all our phones are vibrating. We're getting messages. We should probably wrap this up then.
Daenerys dies. Just
well, yeah, because she becomes the villain randomly.
I like the beginning because like the way the season was shot.
Yeah,
how it's like presented, phenomenal. Just the writing is trash.
I've heard problems with brightness though.
Oh yeah, brightness. I get that's the thing. But like, it's like the last episode. It's like the King's Landing has crumbled. It's like ash everywhere. It's like snow.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you see that meme where it's like the shot should be shown in all the films?
No.
You didn't? Okay, well,
I've seen remixes of the meme. I didn't know the original was from that.
It was a super like obvious shot of like
a dragon in the ash or something.
No, like Daenerys comes down from her Drogon to address her army.
Yeah.
And like as she's walking through the like the doorway, behind her is Drogon with the wings.
I thought she just grew wings.
No, it's just Drogon behind her as he takes off, and Daenerys is walking.
And I thought that she grew wings and was like flying around shooting fire.
No,
that would be so much better.
No, it's just it's her being all evil. Tyrion like says, "No, I'm not doing this anymore," and he gets jailed.
Really?
And then for some reason, like they, I'm just jumping around everywhere here, but Tyrion like recommends like, "Hey, Bran should be king." I'm like, "Why are you listening to this criminal?"
Mm-hmm.
And then then Sam brings up the idea of democracy, which I would have liked the ending of it to be the ending of, because it's like, this is how democracy starts after this like devastating turn of event, like timeline. I'm like, maybe this is the better idea, but no, they just laugh it off and then just make Bran king.
Yep, that sounds about right.
And then the final shot is Jon and the wildlings go into the forest.
Okay.
Well, how it began. Full circle. Really, like, I don't know.
Wonderful, brilliant storytelling.
I mean, okay, the show is worth watching.
I've heard the opposite. I've heard people say because the ending doesn't land so hard, it was a waste of time. Do you agree with the idea of a social contract with the author saying that by making a media, you agree not only to finish it, but finish it well?
I think I agree with that.
So then by it not finishing well, do you demand your money back?
I just see it. I'm a very imaginative person. I'm thinking like what could have been. I think seeing like the basis of that is worth enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yep, I do.
I see the worth in the good stuff enough so that I can like enjoy it still.
So you just consume media? I hate people who are like that. I hate people who are like, you put that picture of you know, that one shot of don't ask questions, just consume media. It's like, if someone doesn't want to critically view stuff and just enjoy something for what it is, let them, I feel.
Because
It's
yeah,
fine.
I voice my issues with it.
Yeah, you can, voicing your issues, but then you can still come out and say, I think it's still
But
worth it.
I prefer enjoying things than hating things.
Right? Yeah, no, I agree.
I love putting energy into like the good things.
Yep.
Not into the bad things. Just saying that twice in a row there.
Yep. No, that's fair.
But yeah, I just don't see how people like.
You're not looking forward
Put
to
so
the
much-
16-hour long videos breaking down why it's the worst?
No,
You gonna watch any?
like I've watched them already.
Oh, that's probably why.
But like,
Okay.
it's just like it's a whole thing I can get into.
Fair enough.
Where like I like to see the good in things before the bad,
All right.
and the bad doesn't necessarily ruin my experience.
I agree. I actually agree.
Yeah.
Okay. With that,
With that,
we are marking our end of the JoJo Persona Game of Thrones spoiler part, and we will see you in the bonus freight for the E3, which we'll probably do after a little break because
Yeah.
we need it, and that'll be up in a few days for you guys anyways. So yeah.
And then, next time is Watch Dogs 2 and Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Yep. And
3 weeks from now.
3 weeks.
So you do look forward to our E3 reactions because we are reacting to Nintendo
I
at least.
will be available for Nintendo's, yeah.
Yes.
And
Maybe Sunday.
maybe Sunday. We'll see. Yeah, depends on the evening how it goes.
Okay.
Yep.
Because there's Microsoft and another one.
Yeah.
Another big one I want to watch.
Microsoft's I might want to see because they do have some third-party
That's
stuff.
pretty early on in the
but,
day too.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about it
We
more.
shall see. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you all for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.